Welcome to the Safe Bar Golf Podcast. I feel like Derek's not here a lot, so Derek's not here again. But I am joined by Nathaniel from Kicks Covers Golf. Um, if you don't know who they are, it's a company that Derek and I have been really fond of for the past probably year and a half, I would say. Um, Anytime people see a picture of my bag, it's always got a Kicks cover, driver cover, and now I have a 3-wood cover. So now I just need a hybrid, but that's something we can work on
We
in the
got you.
future.
We got you.
Um, but kind of going off last week's intro, this one is still sponsored by Swanee's Golf Co. Use SafePar 25, save 25% off. The cool thing with our code is it's for any order. You don't have to be like a new customer or anything. Just save that 25%. Um, Happy Halloween, by the way. It when we're recording it, it is Halloween. And I got my orange on. I think it's actually an orange SafePar hoodie. So thanks, Derek, even though you're not here. But Daniel, welcome to the pod. Excited to have you. I've got two head covers waiting right next to me, so whenever we end up talking about it, I can show them off a little bit. But excited to have you on. Derek is very upset that he's not here. He actually texted me a little bit ago. Um, I'll read it to you. He said, "Tell Kicks covers that we need to run it back so we can both be on." So I guess you're gonna get
We
an
will do
episode
that.
two.
We'll do that. I appreciate you guys having me on. Chance to kind of put my voice and a face to my brand. Cool opportunity to kind of share what I do with your folks.
Yeah, so we've been using kick covers for probably about what, a year, year and a half.
Yeah, it's been about a year. I think we started early on with just a little bit of the marketing promo stuff on the Save
Mm.
Par page, and then you guys reached out a little bit later for some head covers for the pod and for the main page. So yeah, I think it's been about a year now that we've been working together.
Yeah, and I will say they do hold up really nice. I don't know if you want to, we can talk about them right away. So like for those watching, I do have my Safe Bar. I have the podcast one. Derek's is just Safe Bar because he's got to be different and difficult, I guess. But uh, these are logos that we don't really use for anything other than like our personal branding. So golf ball pink hat with the OG logo in it. I think they look really nice. I remember we were talking about them right away. I was like, man, they just don't, it like doesn't fit my club right. Like it's just really small. And then you like just give it like a month in the
Hmm.
sun and everything. And now it's like a perfect fit for my club and everything. And I was worried that it was gonna fade or anything, and it holds up phenomenally.
Yeah, so they're a little bit different than what everybody's used to in the golf world. We do a UV DTG printing process. So it's a UV sealed ink that's directly printed on the head cover. It's not really like a t-shirt printing process. I think it's probably unique to us in the golf world. It holds up really well. The colors are super, super bright. Embroidery has kind of been the standard for a really, really long time in the golf world. And there's nothing wrong with embroidery. Embroidery is great. We do embroidery for larger piece orders, but it's really tough to do one-offs for embroidery. And that's what
Mhm.
we're all about is one-off stuff. Like I wanted to make head covers with a logo that I wanted or with some text that I wanted on them. So I kind of developed my own way to print on head covers so that we could affordably do really, really high quality stuff, but one, not 50, 100, 1,000, what you have to do with the big guys. So yeah, it's been really fun to kind of to figure it all out and develop a product as a golfer that's made for other golfers. I think that's kind of a difference with a lot of the companies that we see in the industry that make soft goods.
Mhm.
They don't golf. Um, they may, go out to the course and take some pictures, but they're not like me where I'm out there 3 times a week playing. And I know what golfers want and the durability we need. So I think that's kind of been the difference maker in my brand. And I'm glad to hear from another golfer that the durability has been on point. And I'm glad the fit's really good too.
Yeah, I guess that was my big fear was, to me, I'm like, oh man, did they just like screen print it? Like, like you said it best, like a t-shirt. That being said, some t-shirts are very well printed.
Hmm.
It is what it is. But I mean, this is after like, a good season of like wear and tear battery. I mean, I took this thing to California with me. It's been on flights, it's been everywhere. Like this has been my really the only head cover I've wanted to use for the past season.
Awesome.
Um, but like I feel like when people see it, they go, "Oh, like what is it?" And then they see Derek's kind of matches other than I think he has a red hat
Hmm.
because again,
Hmm.
he's got to be different. This also matches my bag. I have a custom vessel bag that's pink embroidery and everything.
Oh, cool.
Uh, so yeah, people stop, they stare. Even like the leather is really nice. Um, I think it's synthetic, like we were talking about earlier, but
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit before we started recording here. I really I'm a really big fan of high quality synthetic leathers, especially for golf. Um, Especially for my customers, a lot of times when people come for larger orders, I a lot of times recommend against genuine leather. It's not a great material in terms of, I don't want to say long-term durability because it's a great durable material, but just the way golf goods are treated, it's not great if it gets rained on and gets wet.
Mhm.
If it gets dirty, it's really hard to clean. You have to use specific products to clean it. You've got to condition it and take pretty good care of it. Whereas my synthetic leather covers and the way they're printed, if they get dirty, you can wipe them clean with, soap and water or wet towel. We work with a brand. I do have some of their products right here. Pro Play Golf. I keep this stuff right here in my shop because it works so well. These are their club and grip cleaning wipes. I use these to keep, white head covers when we print them. Sometimes there's
Mhm.
a little bit of dirt or something that comes off of our printer, cleans them right up. But you can even throw my head covers on a gentle cycle in the washing machine, and they will hold up really well. They'll clean up really nice, and that's not something you can do with a genuine leather.
Yeah, I do like that genuine leather will like patina over time, but like you pointed out, it's
Yeah,
really not the best. You're throwing it around in your golf bag and stuff like that.
and there's
Uh,
definitely something about that really iconic leather look, and some people really like that, and that's why I oftentimes recommend against it unless that's the exact aesthetic you're going for your brand.
mhm.
Then yeah, let's go for it. Synthetic leather or genuine leather is really really high quality stuff, and I love the weight of a genuine leather product, like just the
Mhm.
way it feels in the hand, the smell when you open the package. Awesome. Really, really high quality stuff. But just for real
Yeah.
life, not great.
Yeah, I love how it looks beat up and everything, over
Mm-hmm.
time because it's very unique to
Oh,
the
absolutely.
wearer and to the person and everything. So
Absolutely.
that's super fun. But I did want to show off kind of our newest piece. I know Derek has one as well. I got the black elephant print wood cover with the red. These are sweet.
Yeah, the embossed is a new thing we've brought on recently. We have essentially get a mold made, and we stamp the leather prior to sewing it up into a head cover. So it's got the that really iconic Jordan elephant print. I've got one behind me right here in the white. Oh, it's getting washed out by my light a little bit here. You can kind of see
I can see
how
it.
that detail in the embossed print is in there. But yeah, these are really really cool. They've been super popular. Just a really subtle way to show off your sneakerhead pride, your elephant print pride, that kind of
Hmm.
Jordan, that streetwear stuff that everybody likes to rep in their bag, but in a little bit quieter way. And we can print on these too. We've recently been doing some logos on these as well that have come out really really cool, really unique
Ooh,
pieces when they're done.
that'd be cool.
See, I got the wheels turning for you already.
Well, I mean, as if I needed, more things.
More sneakerhead
Um,
inspired things.
that's not even like a quarter of them. Like there's a big thing right next to it that's off camera. And then I've got some like really old OG stuff in the
That's
closet. Like I
awesome.
have if you're not into sneakers, I apologize, but like I have like 1997 Jordan 12s. Like just
OG,
beautiful.
OG.
Oh, like yeah, they're the Flint Blues.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well, you
So
know where we
they're
got our name, Kicks Covers. When we started out with the, I wish I had one in arm's reach. Oh, I do. Look at that. We started out with the original, the sneaker putter covers. So
mm-hmm.
Kicks covers for your putter. You even got a putter right here. Look at that. So that's where we got our start. So you don't have You don't have to start with me. You gotta sneak your head right here with
Yeah,
you.
I've got some of like the original Stealth Gray 15s. Um, I have the Flint. Oh, I can't think what they're called, but like I have the 2006 or 8 Flint 8, the blue one. But then I have
So
the
you
newer
like the
ones.
Flint? Is Flint like your go-to colorway?
No,
You like a fire red guy? What do you go
no.
after?
Uh, really, whatever. Like, there's some like all of these are different. Although I think I have 2 pairs of the same lows. Um, it just happens to be like those are what were easy to get in like an OG. So I bought them.
Right.
Um, but then like I have uh the newer Retro Plus, the one that came out in like 2016
hmm
of the same 7. So,
Are you
oh
like a sneaker con guy? Do you go to like the
no,
conventions and do all that? No, man, those guys are
no.
crazy.
I feel like that is not even like for the love of it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
Oh
that's
yeah, that's
just
for
to like
profit.
show off and stuff like that. That's not at all kind of why I have all of these. It's just more so like an appreciation.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what you like. Love of the game.
yeah, it's the same thing like with golf, right? Like we were talking earlier how people will get new clubs every year. Um, I kind of see that as like, oh man, look at how much money I just spent on these clubs.
hmm
Where it's not, wow, I've had the same set of clubs for like 10 years and the wear is beautiful and I can hit them every time and it's just my go-to. I feel like when you start doing that, you take kind of the love and the appreciation out of it. Um, and I
Yeah, I
feel
think
that same way.
there's definitely an aspect to learning a set of clubs. Absolutely. Like just
Hmm.
learning how you play a set of clubs and how they affect you or how you can do something different with your swing and see a different result. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's
All right, we're taking a quick break from this episode. We're super excited to say that this one is sponsored by our good friends at Swanee's Golf Co. Um, Swanee's here, fresh take, fresh apparel, but it's all performance based. Super cool. It's super fun. Hoodies, polos, hats, towels, quarter zips. They even have shorts. Really, they have stuff for everybody and affordable. They look good. They make you feel good. Um, I honestly I can't say enough good things about it. I'm rocking it. In the future, Derek will be rocking it. Um, but yeah, thank you to Swanee's sponsoring this episode and a bunch of the future ones. Feel free to use code SAVEPART25 and take 25% off your order. Not even your first order, be any order from Swanee's. Support us, support Swanee's. Use code SAVEPART25. Look good, feel good, play good. But also, why not save some money while you're at it, right?
that's something I think a lot of people don't think about because we're marketed so heavily by the big brands to we got to get the new tech every year.
Hmm.
hmm
I feel like a lot of it, like you're saying, it is from like the big brands. I think TaylorMade is probably the most guilty brand of that.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
like this,
Absolutely.
like there's the stealth, right? Everyone's like, oh man, it's got the carbon fiber face, blah blah blah. And you're like, if you look at it like spec per spec, it's basically the same thing as their Sim series,
hmm
just more expensive. And you're like, wow, they got you. And then people are like, well, no, no, they didn't. And then they break, and you're just like, well, this, and this. You're like, well, you could have just gotten like the Sim Club that you already had on clearance, or you could have just saved the $800 and
Yeah, the
gone about your
prices
life.
on some of the new equipment these days is really it's hard to justify to me. I think, some of the prices we're seeing for drivers are getting up there, with higher end shafts or with fitted shafts,
Mhm.
especially. You're getting up there in the territory of what iron sets were, 5 and 6 years ago. And I know that, the COVID explosion and all that has made golf more expensive everywhere, but just the price jumps that we're seeing all across the board is crazy to me.
And the worst part is people are like protecting their clubs with like really janky head covers. So like that's where you come in, right?
I can't stand going to the golf course and seeing a Scotty Cameron without a head cover, or some of the ones that I get in to do restorations on. Just the condition that they're in for a three, four, $500 club is abysmal. Use a head cover. For God's sakes, use a head cover.
So talking about head covers, talking about prices. Somebody comes to you for, a custom head cover, which your Instagram is full of them, whether it's like a corporate outing. Um, you did like a Chick-fil-A one, which is sweet.
Yeah,
Um,
that was a guy who owns a couple of Chick-fil-A locations. He's got a
oh,
couple of
cool.
franchise locations. He's a good customer of mine. Yeah, he's got Mr. Chick-fil-A on one of his head covers, actually.
Well, so what does
uh,
something like that run in terms of price?
So a custom putter cover, whether you have, you know, you want us to design it, you've got an idea in your head of what you want, and you don't know exactly, you don't have an image in mind, you don't have anything ready to go, you're not a graphic designer. Come to us with an idea. You're going to run in the area of $50 to $55, depending on complexity for a putter cover. You're looking at 60 to 65 for a driver cover or a 3 wood or a hybrid. Everything's magnetic closure. Our standard stuff is a PU leather, super, super high quality. It's going to be that UV DTG print that we were talking about a little bit earlier. We do all kinds of stuff. We do family
Jesus.
photos, pictures of pets, company logos. Doesn't matter if it's one, 500, we'll do it. We're doing embroidery now. Let me grab one of these embroidery covers we're doing. This
The
is a company that
embroidery
we
is sick.
we work with out of Indianapolis, actually, so kind of local to us here in Fort Wayne. My light's a little bit too bright. Really, really nice embroidery cover. Everything we do is obviously a magnetic closure. Really nice padding in there, velour lined. So a minimum order quantity on embroidery is 50. You can mix that between putter covers, driver covers, 3 woods, hybrids, mallet, blade. So really not hard to reach that minimum order quantity if you're a small
Mhm.
business. And if you're a big business, that's not really something you're worried about. If you can't get anywhere close to 50, we've got great offerings in the printed stuff. And that's, like I said, one piece. We'll do it for you. A family photo, family, dogs, we do a ton of. I like doing pets. That's kind of one of my favorites. I like seeing all your furry friends. Um, we've got some new offerings coming. I wanted to use the podcast to kind of jump these off and launch these. We're doing navy blue. These are going to be available in everything. So mallet, blade, putter covers, driver, wood, hybrid. So you'll be able to get navy blue and everything. And then this brown leather, we're going to do in everything as well. Obviously, these are all going to be magnetic closure, same thing, padded inside, velour liner, really, really nice. So a couple of new colors on the way as well as our regular black and white offerings that have been super, super popular for the last couple of years.
I love that brown. I know we were talking about it earlier. It just reminds me so much of like a vintage camera case. Um, I love it. To me, it's just so like classic looking, and we were talking about genuine leather and everything. To me, that looks like the most genuine fake leather I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
this is I take pride in picking out really, really high quality materials. I don't want, my tags, my name is on everything that I do. I take
Hmm.
pictures and post every head cover that I make gets, social media time. So that's kind of our quality control check. If we're not proud enough of it to put it on our social media, we're not proud enough to send it to you. It's not good enough quality for us. So I put my name on everything that I make. So, if it's going to have my name on it, it's going to be a really high quality piece of kit. So I take a lot of time and I spend a lot of money bringing in swatches, getting samples of material to pick from hundreds and hundreds. I wish I just got some swatches in today that I took into my other office. Excuse me. Um, that we're picking for some new materials for a really good customer of ours who makes wooden putters. We're going to have a meeting with him and he's going to pick
Ooh,
some exotic leathers.
ooh,
He's into the lizards and the alligators,
gator.
crocodiles. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a whole big, really expensive swatch book for him to pick from some really high end crocodiles and that sort of thing, and that'll be a genuine leather project. So keep your eyes peeled for that in the coming months. But I like I said, I I like to pick really, really high end materials, and this is definitely one of them. It's supposed to look like a full grain, like a top grain leather. Uh, it's got that nice marble texture in there, a little bit shinier than a top grain leather, but it is a polyurethane, but super durable. So it's real scratch resistant. So you're not going to get those white scratches that you get on
Hmm.
top grain. And I know some people like that vintagey look we were talking about earlier. But this is a really high quality head cover and it's going to look that way for a long time. And I really like cream or like kind of an off white printing on these. Looks really sharp, really country club.
Oh God, I have so many ideas now that we're talking about it. Um,
See, this. I like doing this with people. A lot of times when I have meetings with, like a Zoom meeting with folks, potential customers, we'll go on and on for hours with ideas because when you put two creative people in a room together, the ideas just start spilling over.
oh, it's awful. So it's actually like shoe themed. Funny enough, I have these bodega dunks, and the cool thing
Those
with
are
these
super sweet.
bodega,
I don't know that I've seen those before.
so these are all Americana themed. So it's got baseball stitching. It's all like this really nice high quality, different cuts of leather. A head cover like this would be kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Like a patchwork.
Yeah, but it's a bunch
Yeah,
of like genuine leather. Like even the tongue is a nice leather. Um, yeah, these were sweet. I traded a pair for a couple pairs. So, but like,
we've got some really cool um I would call them bespoke options coming. I guess that's maybe not the right word for it, but just some custom head covers coming from us that are a little bit different. Not necessarily the same in our sneaker lane that we've been in. Some more unique designs. We're going to incorporate some materials kind of similar to that in the coming months that are a little bit in a different lane than what we've used to, what you guys are used to from us. So that patchwork idea, I think you're gonna like some of the stuff we've got coming.
these smell insane too. Like the leather's so good. I haven't even worn these yet. I don't even know if I ever will,
I
just
wish
because
I could remember his name. He's bought a head cover from me for his brand, but he makes custom sneakers on Jordan patterns. So almost any kind of leather material you want, or even textiles, uh, he will cut and sew a sneaker from scratch, basically.
mm,
In a Jordan one, I wish I could remember his name. I'll have to find it and send it to you after the fact. Maybe you guys can share it on the page. But really, really, really cool stuff. It also in that same wave, in that different mixed materials stuff.
yeah, that's my only pair like that. That's like leather. I mean, I've got like the Concepts Air Max 9, Air Max ones, like a handful of other things. But like when we were talking about leather, I'm just like, I have
Oh
these.
wait,
And I kind of
yeah, that's a
forget
really
about
cool,
them.
really unique pair. You said there's the Bodega dunks.
Yeah, it's the Bodega Dunk High. If I remember right, they were like Americana themes. So
I'll have to
the
check them out.
different
Those
cuts
look
of
those look
leather,
really
it's
cool.
like baseball, football. There's like some really nice suede. There's like a friends and family version I kind of want. Um, anyways, it kind of leads me into what I was gonna transition into. How did you go from like little, basically sneaker putter covers, transitioning into what you're doing now?
So we still do the sneaker putter covers. Obviously, fads are fads. Things come and things go, and the popularity of the sneaker putter covers has kind of waned a little bit. Um, in 2021, COVID, kind of the peak of the tail end of COVID, I was selling cars, and I started Kicks covers because I wanted to pay for golf. I wanted to,
Mhm.
help make ends meet when times were tough during COVID. And so I started Kicks covers in my apartment, and I kind of took my love for sneakers and golf and, melded them together. And from there, there were more requests. Hey, can you do mallet head covers? Well, the sneaker head covers only fit on blades. So I had people reaching out. They wanted mallet head covers with, sneaker themes. I figured, I think I can figure something out here. I'm a pretty creative guy. So we started early on working with a lot of vinyl. And we were doing a lot of heat transfer vinyl, heat press vinyl, um, and making some really unique products with it. And they hold up really well. I still have some of my early heat press vinyl products that I still use pretty regularly that have held up really well. Um, but slowly we've kind of added more tools as we've earned more customers with more work that we've done. And now we're pretty much a full service print shop. Top to bottom, we can do pretty much any product you'd like: shirts, hats, head covers, bag tags, plastic goods, ceramic goods like mugs and cups. We do a lot of coasters and that kind of stuff, all kinds of promotional stuff. So we've just kind of added tools slowly as we've earned more customers and earned more trust through, hard work and just making quality products.
Yeah, and you do full golf bags. I believe you
Absolutely.
did the sucker pin society bag.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep,
we know them
that's been a
personally.
big one. That's been a big
Yeah,
one.
so
I don't
I've
know
seen that.
why. I love that bag, and it is one of my favorites that I've done just because everybody loves it so much. It's so clean and simple. It's not one of the most unique and colorful and crazy bright bags that I've done, but everybody seems to gravitate to that bag like crazy. It's so funny.
I've seen that bag in person. Beard and I played Half Moon Bay together. We played Shrunken Garden, California together. I've seen that bag, and to me, the bag might be more famous than the guy. Um, but yeah, that bag is money. Um, yeah, yeah, it's not the most crazy thing. It's very plain, but like so is Beard in like a very nice and
Mhm.
genuine way. He's kind of who he is. Not very extravagant, but it doesn't have to be because it's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Beard, but he's the one who's like, yeah, they did my bag. I was like, I didn't even know they did bags because at that point I'd already been following you. Um, that's a good bag. That is a
Yeah,
good
so we
bag.
do what's been really popular for us recently. I wish I had one here now to show you. I've got one not done right in front of me, but we've been doing the Jordan elephant print bags that have been super popular recently. But yeah, custom corporate bags. Again, no minimum order quantities. We'll do one, we'll do 100. Um, I think a bag is to have a custom bag was something that was reserved for tour players for a long time, or for, the big boys, the staff guys, the club pros. So I think it's kind of cool to see the individual expression in the golf bag, and being able to provide that for people has been really, really fun. And I'm really glad that he likes that bag so much. Makes me
Yeah,
happy
I mean,
when my customers are in love with something that I made with my two hands like that.
yeah, that bag. I just found a picture of it. Of course, he has it in black and white, but you know, it's clean, it's simple, it's his logo. Um, I don't know how to edit in pictures, so you just have to look at it on my phone, but
Those
it's
stitch
super
bags
easy.
are great too. Super, super high quality stuff.
Yeah, and he takes it like legitimately everywhere. Like every course he plays, that's his bag. Um,
They're a great size. They're like a halfway between a walking bag and a Sunday bag. I'd say they're a little bit smaller than your average walking bag. Nice and lightweight, but still really
I have
premium, durable materials. They're really, really nice. I wish they were a little bit less expensive. That's the only thing.
I
They're
have the
they're a little bit pricey for what they are.
I think I have the Vessel VLX,
Great bag.
and that's kind of the same thing where it's not this big giant, because I went from like a Sun Mountain like 3.5
Hmm.
LS bag,
Big
super light, but
14 way.
yeah, and I'm just like, why don't I didn't have the individual because I think that's really dumb. Um, but I'm like, I'm not using all the space in this bag, so let me downsize. I went to the Vessel bag, and then I'm like, wow, I almost need like a little bit more space, but once I got everything situated, I love it. It's kind of the same
Sure.
size as that.
Yeah, the vessel bag, everything Vessel makes is super high quality. We use their Den caddies as one of our stock options for the Den caddy offerings. And everything we've done a ton of vessel bags as well. Everything they do is 10 out of 10.
Hmm.
They make the best stuff in terms of leather goods in golf right now. I can't think of a better bag in terms of quality of materials, quality of build construction in golf right now than Vessel. And that's coming
Especially
from somebody who's seen a little bit of everything and
yeah.
is handling golf bags every day. So that's a
What
high quality golf bag.
what
And
surprised
the
me about
price
them,
is worth it.
yeah, that was my big fear.
Do
I was
you
like,
feel that way? As somebody who
yeah,
owns it, do you feel the same way?
yeah, and I spent a little bit more because I got it embroidered with our logo and I got
Sure.
my name on
Sure.
it. Um, but what surprised me was I wasn't surprised that it was going to be a nice quality. I was surprised at how nice the quality was for being a major company. Because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like once you get to a certain point, companies will then be like, well, let's save money, let's kind of dumb down the quality, let's do this, let's do that. I mean, the carbon fiber legs are great. The leather handle, I was like, this thing sucks. But the more I use it, the more I'm like, okay, I really like this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the waterproof pockets and everything. And my only real complaints is that there's only a couple spots to like clip things to, but that's just more of me having too many bag accessories on that damn thing at a given time.
I'm the same way though. I've got a lot of bag tags, the towels. I've got the spray, the groove it brush. I like a lot. So yeah, I also have I also like having a lot of places to hang things. And my current bag doesn't have that, and that's a drawback in my opinion.
What I did was we had Mark from Kraken on. If you follow Kraken, I don't know.
Yeah,
He makes
absolutely,
little
absolutely.
what I did, he makes little valuable pouches out of leather
Hmm.
and they're big. I have one, but it's in a different room. Um, and I'm wearing Zubas and I don't really want people to see my Zubas. Um, I got one of those and they're not small, they're pretty, it's a pretty good sized bag. I got like an S beaner. I clip that thing on there and I'll just throw everything I need to in there and that's
Nice,
made the world of
nice.
difference. Yeah.
Nice. I I have seen a couple of products that clip over the side and add either like a magnetic plate or just a couple of extra places to clip things, but I just wish they had two or three more D rings on a bag to clip things on every bag. I agree. Because I
We
put one
were
of my kicks covers bag tags on every custom bag I do. So that's, if it only has one clip, that's already clipped on there. So they're probably taking my bag tag off to put their stuff on.
we were just sent bags from Omni X and they're over in like the Asia area
Mhm.
and um they're definitely a little bit more expensive. I think they're like roughly like 400 bucks a bag, which for a lot of golfers is like a ton of money.
That's a
Um
premium product for sure.
yeah, there are so many spots to clip things to. I we've been kind of using the bags for a while, doing social media posts for them and everything. Um First of all, good looking bags. Second of all, two water bottle pockets, I'm sold. And then there's like so many little spots to clip things to. I'm like, why can't every manufacturer put D-rings everywhere? Or just like little loops? Just let me clip things to your damn bag.
A lot of the products coming out of Asia in the golf world are so much more thought out for whatever reason, and they're not afraid to do things differently than the status quo,
Hmm.
which I think is really, really cool. I've seen a lot of really unique products, a lot of really cool grips, all sorts of really unique golf products coming out of Japan, especially the hard goods and the soft goods like bags and head covers and that sort of thing. I totally agree with you that there's got to be a better way in terms of
Yeah.
golf bags, two water bottle pockets. Why not?
Well,
That's
let me tell you, this
nobody,
damn
one
bag.
water bottle is it's not enough. That's
Yeah.
you need more than
Well,
that.
let me tell you,
And
this
not every
damn
golf
bag.
course has hydration station.
Mhm.
We don't all play at the top 50.
This damn bag came in like a bigger like dust bag. I'm like, I've never gotten a bag that came in a dust bag. And it comes with two travel club head cover thingies. You know what I mean? It's like the
Yeah,
rain
top.
covers.
Yeah,
It comes with two of them. Like one is like black with embroidery. The second one is clear and it just looks really cool. I'm
that's
like,
really unique.
Like I'm telling, like bang for your buck, you get some really cool products.
There's definitely a lot of really, really unique stuff coming out of Japan, and I'm we're planning on making a trip. Me and a couple of my business partners are planning on making a trip over there in the next, year or two, just to kind of see what everything's all about over there. Because we do a lot of business in Japan, a lot of custom stuff, a lot of my putter business, a lot of the really premium stuff on the resale side goes straight to Japan because they're willing to spend a lot of money on really premium products for golf over there.
I mean, yeah, we talked about this with Gabe from Sticks. I mean, look at what they're doing. Like Mizuno's over there, and Mizuno never puts out a bad quality product. The irons, they kind of have like a cult following, and I hate saying it like that, but people who like Mizuno really like Mizuno.
Oh yeah, they're gonna tell you
Wheels,
about it. They're like a vegan or whatever.
wheels from Sucker Pen, everything in his bag is Mizuno. Like everything, like driver,
Wow,
everything's Mizuno. And he does not shut up about Mizuno, and it's for a good reason. The irons are great, the quality's great. When have you heard anything bad about Mizuno product that they've put out?
absolutely. I play Mira irons myself, Mira irons
Mm.
and wedges. So I definitely am a sucker for a good forged Japanese golf club. Absolutely. So I've definitely bought into the hype, and a lot of people don't know about Mira. I think the common everyday golfer that's kind of a little bit more out there. So they see the clubs in the bag and they're, wow, those look great. What are those? So I get to do a little story time on Mira a lot, which is fun. So I'm definitely part of the problem, but happy to be it.
Oh, they're beautiful. Mirrors are, oh,
I
like
play MB 101s and
if
K
you're gonna
grind
drop
wedges.
money, drop them on like Mizuno or Miras for sure.
The way I fell into my Miras, I obviously I do a little bit of resale on the other side of my business. I bought a set of MB 101s last winter. A guy listed them for sale on Mully actually, and said,
Shout out Mully.
shout out Mully big time.
We know the
Um,
Mully guys. We've had them on.
good folks over there.
Good
Absolutely good
dudes.
folks.
Yeah.
If you're not on Mully, get on Mully. Go follow me. Shop the
Follow
store. We got some great stuff.
follow Mikey and his podcast too. Mikey started his own golf
Oh,
theme
no kidding.
podcast.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out. I'll have to go check that out.
It's
Really
it's
good folks over
probably
there.
it's probably one of the most heartfelt and thoughtful podcasts that's golf related I've ever listened to. And I truly do mean that from the bottom of my heart. Mikey's doing great things. Everything he does with that pod and with Mully is incredibly thought out and well detailed and articulated.
Absolutely. Everything that they do is top notch. I find myself, even as I'm just an adjacent fan that's, worked with them on a couple of things from time to time, everything they do, I find myself reposting because it's just, wow, what a great cause, or wow, that's so well thought out. Yeah, absolutely. Great
I
folks,
think,
great platform.
oh yeah, I think his podcast is like Love and Golf or something like that. I do follow
I'm
it and
gonna
I
have to go
feel
check
bad that I
that out.
can't think of it right off the top of my head, but um yeah, great guys, great stories. We had them on, not to totally change, we'll go back to your Miro story. We had them on while they were at Augusta for the Masters, which was
Oh,
super cool.
cool,
So it was
cool.
just one of those episodes where we're like, ah, and then afterwards we stayed on and talked, and there's like, I wish we could have had it on, but like Jack Nicklaus's manager walks in and we're all talking, and it's one of those things where it's just like it's so like unbelievable, and it's one of those things where it's like this damn group of guys just talking shooting the shit, golf, podcast, beautiful. Um, yeah, shout out Molly, doing all sorts of great things. Let's go back to Mira.
Absolutely. So I stumbled onto a set a guy had. He said he was at PGA Superstore and kind of got swindled into hitting something that was maybe a little bit more diesel than he could handle. So I scooped up a set of MB 101s off him at a pretty good price with the intent to sell them. Got them, open them up. Everything that I get, I've got to hit, once or twice, check out.
Hmm.
And I think I probably got suckered in the same way he did. Just the first one out of the middle. and it feels like hitting a golf ball out of a stick of butter. They're so soft. And I was like, I get it. I understand. And, posted them for sale. And that's a super high end set of irons. So they didn't sell very fast. So I got to hit them more and more and more, and eventually took them down and decided that these were going to be my irons for the next, little while, even though they were quite a bit out of my price range at the time. But I absolutely love them. And from there, got a set of K grind wedges because I just fell in love with the Miro brand and everything that they're about. Just can't say it. Go hit a set of Miras. If you haven't, they've got a set that suits your game. They've got everything. They don't pay me to say this. I paid a ton of money for my set, but that's a great set of irons from a brand that's a little bit under the radar, I would say. Um, so go check them out if your pockets are deep enough.
I say I won't because then I know I'll get hooked. Um, I know a
A lot of great
guy.
used sets though. Everything they make is super high quality. So there's some. I've got a set for sale right now that's in the $700 or $800 territory. So not crazy out of the budget for a lot of people for a set of irons, but really really good
No, it's
stuff.
not bad. Yeah, no, that's not bad. Yeah, I just know how I am. I'll try something, go, damn it, I'm hooked.
Yep.
I did that when we were out in California. I shot a friend of mine. He has a Leica, so I'm shooting his Leica. I'm like, God damn it! Like, and now I own a Leica. It's right there. And
That's the way I am about everything. I half the putters I get in, I buy them because I want to check them out. I've got
yeah,
a lab mez coming from Mully actually that I plan to resell, but I picked up, probably spent, I won't make any money on, and I might break even, but I just kind of wanted to check out the lab putters and see what they're all about.
I wanted to try one. I cannot do the obnoxiously big putter heads that they're putting out. Like I can't do that. But they have a blade. I think it's like the Lab One or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's one I'm
The one with
super
the two
interested in.
flanges coming
I'm
back,
gonna
kind of has like wings.
no,
The
this is like a
the one I
straight
picked
up
up
like
is a met. I don't know much about lab, so
I'm looking it up because now I'm
yeah, I think I snagged a Mez 2, and it should be here in the next couple of days from Mully, and I'm
oh no, I'm
excited
sorry.
to give that a
It's
shot.
the Link one.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure that I've seen the blade from then.
It looks really good. And the issue is I know I will love it and then get hooked on it.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, I have. I have just recently seen that. Yes, yes.
That is like the only putter that I'm remotely interested in buying that isn't like my peng. Um,
I think the technology is super compelling. It definitely it makes sense.
I've
And
reached
as a
out to
Scotty
them.
Cameron guy, I don't want to fall in love with it, but I'm afraid that I might.
I've reached out to them to be on the pod because I think it's so interesting and polarizing at the same time.
Hmm.
But finding them at a not busy season is hard. And
I'm sure those guys are slammed.
yeah, um, that's like the only putter I would realistically buy out of the box versus like getting a custom one done from like Sync or
Hmm. Hmm.
someone like that,
Yeah,
like
something
Ollie.
coming from a block of metal.
Yes, yeah, or like
Sure.
even like a Tyler Lowy putter.
Hmm.
But
A lot of guys doing really, really great work in that space right now
oh, there's so many, and they're all so interesting to talk to. Um,
because they've all got their own philosophy on. I've had the honor, I guess, of talking golf with a lot of them because they come to me looking, shopping for head covers for their customs, and just hearing, their philosophy on the putter and that sort of thing has been really, really interesting.
mhm. Yeah, and talking to all of them, my fear is like for our listeners, it's going to get really repetitive to have all these like putter makers and stuff like that come on. I think it's probably the most interesting thing in golf that I have ever gotten to talk about because everybody, like you said, has their own philosophy. Um,
Absolutely.
Tyler was so different than Ollie, and I thought Ollie was just like a magician with his stuff. And then we talked to 3DP Golf a couple weeks ago, and he's 3D printing metal putters. I'm like,
Yeah, he's
that
his some
is,
of the stuff that he's up to is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
and it's all mind blowing. And my fear is people are gonna like get sick of it and like not care anymore. And I'm like, it's so like to me, it's I want to talk to people that I'm genuinely interested in.
To me, in my opinion, if you like golf, you may not be an equipment junkie. Some
Hmm.
people are, some people aren't. But regardless of if you're an equipment junkie or not, I think hearing their philosophy on this, that, and the other thing, or how a putter should be set up, or their philosophy on how they save strokes, or just their philosophy on aesthetics is super interesting. And hearing something from a small brand, from a people that aren't producing thousands or tens of thousands of clubs is super interesting. I could listen to it all day, but I'm in the industry like you are, so I get it, but I could listen to it all day.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's so cool to me. Like I love
I'm a total
putters.
equipment junkie. I'm
You
a
know,
I'm a putter junkie first. Putters are my first love. Absolutely.
I don't have too many, but like there's that one with the white head cover right there. That's like a really old Ping Scottsdale,
Hmm.
like very old. Um and I know Jason with House of Golf out in California.
Hmm.
I sent him some pictures. He's done a couple of my actually some of my irons they just had done over there. We did funny enough elephant print with white and Carolina blue.
Oh, those are gonna be killer.
Oh, they're already over there. I retired them. Would you like me to grab them?
I would like to see those. I am an elephant print guy.
Yeah. So it's been a while since I have moved these. But basically what we did was we did white with Carolina blue. And it's not quite elephant prints. What we did was we did that part blue and baby blue ferrule.
Those are killer. Those are killer.
So they've definitely been used. Um, I feel
As they should
terrible,
be.
but at the same time, like they are just, I mean, money. And I love Callaway wedges.
Yeah, those
Um,
are sweet. Those are sweet.
yeah,
I love the dots on Callaway wedges. They remind me of the tour dots on Scotty
yeah,
putters. So I love those. I'm not a Callaway guy, I'd have to say, but
yeah. No, I love.
I do like those Jaws wedges. Those are good looking clubs for sure.
I've
I
switched
can't
to
remember the name of their custom their WedgeWorks guy, the one who does their custom all their custom stamp stuff. But he does some really good work with some hammered finishes and just really cool stamping.
and then while I was over there, I was like, I might as well grab this. It's like a really old, like
It's in great shape
Scottsdale.
though. The patina hasn't come over it too bad. It's still nice and shiny.
I cleaned it up.
That they look great that way. I
Yeah,
I have a couple that are still in patina that just have like kind of a grayish brown kind of coat over them, but they look great when they're polished up.
yeah. It looks like somebody tried to like do the face at one point, so
Hmm.
it's a little weird. That I don't know how to fix. But
If you just get a 2x4 piece of sandpaper, they're soft enough. They're just like a beryllium copper, so they're soft enough that if you can kind of plane it down flat. If you just lay it down on a flat surface with a piece of sandpaper, you can
sure,
get it pretty flat.
yeah. Yeah, this
I
it's like
played around with the bullseyes, the old Titleist bullseye putters.
oh yeah,
I picked up one of my customers had 7 or 8 of them laying around, and he gave me a great deal. I think he sold them to me for $50, and I kind of taught myself how to refinish and take a ding and a nick and work a putter back flat that way on something that was low risk relatively.
Yeah, this has like the original like grip on it still, and I have a new
Is
grip
it
for it.
is it rock hard?
Yeah. And like I love the ping grip, so I like the pistol grip.
hmm
Um, but yeah, this I really like it. I don't know. I've always liked ping. I
Does
know
it
they're
have
not as
is
like
it beached? I thought it looked like, does it have a like a sound slot cut into it?
yeah,
Yeah, those that's such a unique sound. Really, really cool putters. I'm a sucker for ping. That was my dad was a ping guy, so I had the hand me down ping putters growing up. Um, and then when my brother started, his venture into kind of low level professional golf, he kind of became a Scotty Cameron guy, and I wanted to be like Big Brother, so I kind of
sure.
fell in love with Scotty Cameron that way, and and now it's an obsession. I've got a staff bag with 15 of my own personals in my office and a wall of, gosh, I don't know, 30 or 40 over there that are for sale, but I just like having them around to look at. Here, I snagged a couple of cool ones off the wall to show off. This is one I just finished working on today. This is a nice flowback five, the special select line.
Paint
It's
is
got
really
a
cool.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
an oil
finish.
can. Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
oil can finish, so torched oil can. So it's the typical silver finish regularly. I think that's kind of boring.
Hmm.
So this is torched to about like 600 or 700 degrees and then dunked into a mix of oil. That's how you get your oil can finish. So yeah, it gets these nice golds and blues and purples in there. Really, really unique putter. This is actually, I think, is already listed for sale.
So
And
somebody
then I've
listening
got,
should buy it.
yeah, there you go. I've got original Terillium. Everybody loves Terillium. Such a classic. Look, this is a Santa Fe, another one that's listed for sale. And this is probably my favorite. I've got to give, this is when you said ping grip.
Hmm.
This is the best grip in golf. If you like to feel a putt, you like to get good feel off the putter face. This is the best grip in golf for that. Super thin, just absolutely second to none. That's why Tiger puts it on his Scotty Cameron. This was a collaboration with me and my putter restoration guy, Chris Daddy Golf. It's a slant neck Newport that we've double nickel plated, and
Hmm.
it's got that iconic Tiger tour dot in there and a completely smooth sole on the bottom. So this is kind of an ode to Tiger's gamer in a slant neck, nice and shiny. But this is another one that I made, for me. And if it never sells, so be it.
What do you think of the like the Bettinardies?
I haven't gotten into Bettinardi until recently. I'll be honest with you. And as a Chicago native, well, shouldn't say native, not from Chicago. I lived in the Chicago area for 5 or 6 years, so an adopted Chicagoan. Um, I feel a little bit ashamed that I don't know a little bit more about Bettinardi than being local to Illinois. Um, I've had a couple of their putters, really, really high quality stuff. Um, Absolutely comparable to a Scotty Cameron in terms of fit and finish. Where
Hmm.
I think they've really been shining recently, though, is their accessory stuff, their soft goods. They have been absolutely killing the game in terms of like head cover collaborations, bag collaborations. Some of the one off putters they've done recently have been really, really, really cool. They did think it was just last month they did a collaboration with, I think it was Rawlings, that were baseball glove inspired. So they were all like baseball leather head covers, baseball glove inspired leather head covers. They did a collaboration with Monopoly that was really, really cool. They've been really killing the game in that area, but I don't know as much about their putters as I do about the Scotty Cameron world for sure.
I found myself liking to look at the Bettinardi stuff more than I like to look at the Scotty stuff.
It's a lot more fun for sure.
Yeah.
It's a middle ground, I think, between swag and Scotty. How about that?
Hmm. I
It's
think
not as crazy and out there as swag, but it's not as
right.
conservative and classic as Scotty. It's a nice middle ground.
I think swag is like too far out
Mm-hmm.
there.
You've got to
Um,
be a certain kind of golfer to rock some of the swag stuff for sure.
I also just hate the word swag,
It didn't age well, that's for sure.
because like that was kind of popular when I was in high school. Not to
Absolutely.
like not to like date yourself. Um, but I remember just being like, what a dumb name. Sorry if
Yeah,
they ever want to come on, but like really,
it didn't age well, and I don't want to I don't want to sit here and talk shit, but I definitely don't think the name aged well. But there's a lot of people who are really really into it, and a lot of people who pay a lot of money in the resale market for some of their stuff. I
I like
saw a
their head
swag Ben
covers.
Caddy sell for almost 13, $1,400 the other day. That's crazy
Some
money.
some of their head covers are really cool. They did one with the 3M Open, and that's
I don't know
that's
that I've seen
local.
those.
That's local here for
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if I could get my hands on that one, I'd probably be more interested because it's local. It means something. We did a live
Right.
podcast from the 3M Open. Um, but outside of that, I just feel like they're a little ooh crazy. I feel like it's kind of
Yeah.
like that old guy who tries to feel young again.
It's funny that you say that because the one member at my club who is a big swag guy is a midlife crisis guy. He's probably in his late 50s, early 60s, big bright sports car, crazy Bettinardi tour department putter and swag everything top to bottom.
My
And
point exactly.
the loud golf shirt, the loud printed polo guy definitely doesn't act his age.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
hey, some people just like having fun with it. If that's your the look you want to rock, who am I to knock it?
exactly. At the end of the day, as long as he's out there having fun, hitting the ball,
Exactly. And I love the individual expression. I think, getting away from everybody wearing FootJoy saddle shoes and, Dockers and a one of three color polos, I think is awesome. Seeing some of the outfits that I see out on the golf course, even at my stuffy country club, is really cool. Seeing the
mm,
Jordans on the feet of middle aged guys at my country club is awesome. And I think that maybe I've had a little bit. I like to think that maybe my brand has had a little bit to do with that, my influence out there. But seeing it everywhere is really cool. Seeing the sneaker culture and just more individualized look on the golf course is really cool.
do you think that's what draws you to putters is the individualism in them and being able to make, because
At,
like to me, like I'm not like we were just talking about, I'm not a big Scotty guy, but I appreciate that they're like a blank canvas for like anything anybody wants to do.
that's a really interesting way to look at it. And to kind of even pivot on that a little bit differently, I think I'm drawn to putters because the reason somebody games a certain putter is different from somebody else's reasoning. So, the mallet and blade argument, or, why does somebody game this versus that? A double bend, a single bend, different neck styles. Everybody's putter stroke is a little bit different. Whereas you're going to see every driver from the major manufacturers is the same. Every iron company offers a tour blade, a cavity back, and a muscle back. Every wedge looks relatively the same. Where you're seeing a lot of the difference in people's bags is in the putter. So I think maybe that's why I initially kind of had a love for putters, was because when you went to the putter section, there was so much to look at between, a little Wilson 8802 or a Newport 2 or an Answer, all the way up to like a big old, Audi 2 ball or some of the crazier big headed Odyssey square styles that there's just so much variety in putters, not only in terms of how you can customize and individualize them from there, but just the clubs themselves are so much different than the standard stuff we're used to seeing in golf that is kind of all put into a box. I think manufacturers are a lot more willing to take a leap of faith or to take a chance on a putter than they are a driver, a set of irons, or a wood.
Yeah, we talked about it a few episodes ago, but Cobra's been 3D printing their putters.
Hmm.
Like you can get the 3D printed line. They
Hmm.
look good. I have not hit or have like held one.
Yeah, I haven't had my chance. I haven't had a chance to get my hands on one yet either. But yeah, I have seen them. They look really good. They look really unique.
Hmm.
The technology is compelling.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like mind blowing, like everything you can do with a putter. Um,
Hmm.
and like you're saying, everybody's reasoning is different, right? Like I don't like the really big mallet styles because I don't like really big heads. It like freaks me out. I don't know what it
Yeah,
is. Like,
your reason is visual.
yeah. Yeah, and I know it's more of a visual and mental thing, but like watching a like it's too much for me, right? Um,
But if you
we're
went to
like,
a putter fitting, that's an absolutely valid reason to not
yeah.
be fit into a mallet.
And like I have some buddies who love like the big tailor made, like the spiders.
Hmm.
I can't do it. Too big. Uh-uh.
I can't stand. I game a X5, a 5.5, which is kind of in the middle. You know, it's a smaller mallet. It's a toe flowing mallet, so it plays like a blade. Forgiveness, MOI of a mallet. Um, but some of those spiders, some of those bigger odysseys, I can't stand to look at them. I can't stand to look at them. That's my problem with a lot of putters. I was a blade putter guy for a long, long time, and the only thing that made me change was making putts. That's a big selling point, obviously.
Hmm.
I having the access to the putters that I do, my brother who's, a PGA, professional, a teaching professional, so a really, really good golfer, games gamed at the time a 6M, a huge Scotty Cameron mallet. And just kept telling me, you're leaving strokes out there. You're leaving strokes out there. You're leaving strokes out there with a blade putter. And I didn't believe him for a long time until I started gaming a mallet, and everything I looked at went in, and I haven't looked back since.
I can't do it.
I can't do
I can't do it.
it.
Um, the putting is like the one like really good part of my game,
Hmm.
and I
Don't
do
change it.
it with a blade. Like I,
Yeah, then don't change it.
you
My
know,
I was absolutely leaving strokes out there, missing the knee knockers, the 8 to 10 footers, the stuff that's got to get made. I was definitely missing those with the blade that I was playing at the time. I think at the time I was playing a Coronado, so a really, really thin baby blade with a lot of toe flow and not
I
a lot of forgiveness.
I have the ping Karsten answer. I think it's the three. I
What
think
kind of
so.
grip?
The
I
ping
think I
pencil
think
grip.
that's a fat grip or a skinny grip.
Oh, I hate the fat grips. Can't do them. Again, it, it
So you're a feel
I,
guy.
yeah, I've tried it. I can't do it. We did an episode with I always blank on his name. Jackson Golf. Um, and he makes very kind of weird and like unique putters. Um, I love them. I don't know what it is. The feel of it coming off the face is really nice. His also have a loft to it, which is interesting.
That is
Um,
interesting.
but again, pistol grip feels good, blade style, but it's center shafted, so it's a little bit different for me.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I keep going back to the ping. The Karsten line is great. I love the grip. I love the feel off the face. I can tell when I hit it really well because it's kind of like hitting the barrel of a baseball bat,
Absolutely. Hmm.
you know?
So there's a sweet spot for sure.
Yeah. And I've hit
Hmm.
that more than I've hit any other putter well. So it's all
And
feel based, but
does your Karsten have an insert, or is it a solid metal head?
as an insert.
Yeah, so that's that sweet spot feel is you're
Hmm.
feeling that softness of that insert. I've never been, besides Trillium, I've never been an insert putter guy. I I don't like, where I was just singing the praises of my super soft Japanese irons earlier. I don't love the softness off a putter face.
Well, I guess we're just gonna get all the clubs tonight.
Yeah,
I never remember what I do and don't have in here.
I should have brought
Um,
my gamer up here earlier.
this isn't my gamer. My gamer's in a bag out there. This is that Jackson one. Center shafted, has loft to it, super simple. Very
It's similar to the Cure with the
yeah,
outboard weights. Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
these are interchangeable. He sent us the set. Um, this thing I've hit some like crazy putts with, but again, it's got that same type of hang grip to it. It just feels good. You know, when you hit the sweet spot.
So that's more of a square to square stroke type putter.
I don't know.
So when you see something that's center shafted, you're going to see less toe flow. So with the way I'm thinking with your putter, your Karsten, your ping answer is you're probably used to having some toe flow. So that's probably a lot different feeling putter for you.
You know what's okay? So I got fit for clubs once upon a time. And you know, they go through the fitting, they watch you hit and everything, and they watch them hit all the irons and the wedges and everything, and they're like, "Do clubs feel different to you?" And I was like, "Not really. Like normally I can't really tell the difference." They go, "You can really hit anything then." And I was like, "Cool, I want those ones." So I got a set. Um, for me, this feels a little bit like my ping. I guess I don't really notice a difference other than this one has a little bit of like almost like a 3D face kind of goes out and then like a little bit of a loft to it.
Hmm.
And it's heavier. But for me to sit here and say, yeah, I can definitely tell a difference and feel, I'd be lying to you.
And I think it's interesting where we talk to an average golfer, somebody, a, a mid handicapper. I don't genuinely think that they notice a lot of the technology that fitters are told by these brands to promote,
Hmm.
where they're telling you in your fitting bay, like, yeah, you feel that XYZ tech that they put in these new 2023 versions. You're going, yeah, 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 I feel it. I feel it. I can feel the difference between. No, we're not Tiger Woods. None
Yeah.
of us are. Yeah, we're not the kind of golfers that can feel the difference between one wrap and two wraps under their grip. We our feel for the game isn't that good. Most of us are lucky to play once a week. So
Mhm.
I agree with you that a lot of it is kind of imaginary. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there
And
is definitely I am a student of the putter. So there's definitely something to the way a shaft and the way a putter is weighted that change the way you stroke it for sure. So it would be interesting to bring both to a putter fitting and see what fits your natural putter stroke better.
yeah, and I think this one's definitely heavier. I've got 40 grams of weight
That's a lot of
attached to
weight.
it. Is it?
Well, depending, I guess I shouldn't say that. Depending on the weight of the head. If the head weighs less than a standard head, 40 grams of weight is not very much. Whereas if the head weighs, a standard, kind of 350 grams, and then you add 40 grams on top of that, then you could start getting into that heavy territory. 350 grams is about the average weight for a blade style putter
Sure. It's probably what it is without
head.
the 40.
I guess with
Uh,
the way that it's shaped, though, the head probably weighs less than a answer style.
Well,
There's
damn,
just
I guess
less material there.
I'm gonna go have to go play around with all my clubs after this. Um, but I like to think that's what sets this show apart is that I I I am kind of your average golfer, right? I don't go out every week. I'm not gonna sit and be like, oh yeah, I definitely feel that technology. Like I work in the
And I
running
think that's a lot
industry.
more relatable to a lot of people.
Well, yeah, and like it reminded me, like I work in the running industry right now. Carbon fiber in shoes is like the thing. 95% of runners out there will never run fast enough to engage the carbon fiber plate in your shoe. So you're wasting $250 every time you buy a pair. and it doesn't click with people. I'm like, it's the same thing like with golf clubs, right? Like if you don't have a certain swing speed, you're not going to get any advantages out of your shaft
Mhm.
or X, Y, and Z. It's like it's all relative to the user, to the buyer, and everything. Obviously, I'm not going to stop you if you want to buy this $250 pair of Hyperion threes from Brooks with full carbon fiber. Welcome to the club. Cool. But I can almost guarantee you that most runners will never run fast enough to notice that carbon fiber.
Mhm.
It's
And
the
most
same
golfers
thing.
will never hit enough shots with one club or another to notice the difference A to B
The only
in a
thing I think,
blindfolded test, let's say.
yeah, the only thing that I really think people should replace more often than they do are their wedges. And that has to do with
Absolutely.
grooves and the spin and everything like that. That is the only club I think people should routinely replace or at least get. Um,
I'm a big advocate of used clubs,
mhm.
like we were talking about earlier. There's almost no reason in today's day and age with the quality, the build materials, just the quality of a high end modern club. There's not really a lot of reason to go after something that's brand new when you can get something that's a year or two old for and in good condition for so much less. So the only thing I don't recommend though is use wedges ever, ever,
Yeah,
ever, ever. Don't buy used wedges.
yeah. Unless you plan on getting them like regrooved and everything, but after that, you might as well just buy the new ones.
Why? Yeah, when you factor in the pricing, yeah, you're in new money territory
Hmm.
at that point anyway. So you're probably going to be happier, better suited. You're going to have them sooner if you just buy the new ones.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you have to buy it every season, even every couple seasons, but
And not even you don't have to buy the SM9. You don't have to buy the latest and greatest.
oh,
Buy
I did.
last year's. You can. I'm not saying don't, but there's a wedge is a wedge.
Yeah, yeah,
Technology hasn't come very far in the wedge world. So you can buy, an SM7, an SM8, and it's, comparable relatively to a brand new SM9, and you might save 70, $80 having
yeah.
bought a little bit older club.
Short game and putting is like my thing, so like I'll drop money on wedges. Like I love the wedges. I have the 60 and 56 SM9s. Love those things.
What finish did you go with?
The oh God, what do they call it? It's almost like blue.
Oh, like the raw oil can?
It's not raw though.
Is it an oil can? I know they have two blacks. I know they have like a gold, like a torchy kind of color finish. I know they have the regular silver, and then I know they have raw, like two are raw.
I am gonna look up my purchase order.
Blue sounds cool though. I don't like as much as I know rusty wedges are not a bad thing, but I don't like rusty clubs. I can't do the raw or the oil can finishes that rust.
Oh my I just bought a 52 degree. I shouldn't say I just bought it. I bought it back in like May.
I do that
Um
all the time too.
uh and I got the raw finish from Haywood on a 52.
Hmm.
Beautiful. Love that club. Okay, I lied. In my head, they're blue. In reality, I have the brush steel.
Brush steel. Okay, yeah. So just the regular steel. They are kind of a bluey,
They're kind of
uh, uh,
bluey.
yeah, blue silver. No, they do have a blue. They definitely do have a blue tinge to them for sure.
Yeah, to me that's I like that color. That and it's just what was available when I was looking. So I was like, yeah, I'll
Sure.
get two. Whatever. But yeah, I've never had a rusty wedge, so I was like, you know what? I know I know Josh. Let's let's do a Haywood. That all of Derek's clubs are Haywood. I was like, fuck it. Let's do it. I love that damn club, and I can't wait for it to get all rusty.
They do look cool when they get all rusty, but I like my equipment just so. So I can't stand to see it rusty. I just got these in just today.
Ooh.
Some new these are the premium black SM9s with the see if I get that label. Yeah, dynamic gold tour issues. Super
Yeah,
nice.
I can't do
Full set of
black.
those.
I can't do black clubs, and graphite shafts freak me out.
These are still a steel shaft, but
Is
they're
it?
painted. Yeah, they're a
That
painted
freaks me
or a
out.
PVD. Yeah. I do like the I can't say that I've played a black shaft. I've never played a black shaft in anything but a putter. I've never had I've always just regular steel in my irons and everything else, besides woods, obviously.
Right.
Um, so I guess I can't say whether or not it freaks me out, but I do like the idea of the black finish on wedges, and I am going to check out Mura's got a QPC. I think it's quench polish quench is what they call it. Their new black finish for the K grind wedges. I think I'm going to upgrade this off season to some black wedges myself. But I don't like the black finish when it wears out a wear mark and is like kind of silvery and black. I don't like that.
That's
So
what
it's
bugs
it's
me.
got to be a durable black finish.
Hmm. And that's what bugs me. That's why I went with the brushed steel because
They're
they
always going
get
to look
like,
like that.
well, they get, clanged around all the time. And
Mm.
like, we're gonna travel. So like my clubs went on, a couple flights and everything. And I'm like, they're gonna get beat around. And
What, you don't want to
uh,
run iron covers?
no, do you make them?
I have before, begrudgingly. I have begrudgingly made some iron cover sets before, and for a time when I had my Miras, I ran them for about 2 weeks before I knew I was keeping those Miras because I wanted to keep them real nice. So I did catch some flack for a couple of weeks in the winter doing sim sessions, and I was like, I don't own these yet. Just relax.
See, to me, that's
So
the
that
only
was my
like
excuse. But other than even when I was using them just to protect a set of irons that I didn't own myself yet, they were such a pain in the ass to put on. It just on every. I can't imagine running them on a daily basis. Can't imagine.
yeah, like I hate putting on putter covers. Like as
Don't say that.
um basically if we're in a cart, as soon as I have to putt, that never goes back on.
For the whole round.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Just because it's like I know I'm gonna take it off again. Like I'm done.
Oh man, that makes my skin crawl. Oh
I
man.
Some either tools
Do
and
you
you
have a
can beat up
separate? Do you have like
tools.
a putter well in your bag?
Yeah, I think. What do you mean?
Oh, we froze up a little bit.
You froze up.
Oh, my bad.
What's
Do you have like a putter well in your bag,
yeah,
like a
I,
separate area for your putter?
uh not that I'm aware of.
So it intermingles with your irons and your wedges and
Yeah,
clanks
I have
around.
it like in its own little like pocket though.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Then you're okay. So it doesn't actually like hit your iron heads.
I'll have to pay more attention now because I don't.
Does is,
It
is your
sits lower.
putter all dented?
No,
Then you're good. Then
no.
no. I see putters all the time where it's the same story where guys put the putter cover on and then they take it off when they start their round, and then it's sitting, in the bag with their irons and it's just getting whacked by their irons and the whole drive around while it's jostling up and down in the cart, and that's what puts bag rash. I wish I had a really nasty putter to show you. I do have a couple in my shop downstairs, but that's what puts really nasty dents and bag rash on putters, and that's what makes my skin crawl because that's what I got to spend hours on a grinder getting out and take weight off the putter when we go to restore them.
Oh, that doesn't even sound fun.
All those
Oh,
dents and dings are. I mean, that's what we were talking about earlier with $300-$400 Scotty Cameron putter, and you leave the putter cover off it, and you just let it get dented to hell, and it hurts my soul to see some of them though the condition that they come in.
yeah, I guess it just depends on how you view things, right? Like I've got all these cameras and all of these cameras. I shouldn't say all of them. I have like one that's like semi-new, but then all the other ones are like super old. And people are like, why aren't they in cases? Why aren't they this? Why aren't... I'm like, I don't even use straps. Like I just hang on to them. They're like,
But
well,
are
what if
they
you drop it?
dented and like banged up?
One of them is.
But not. I just I feel like it's almost some of the putters I see, it almost feels intentional. It almost feels like, well, I'm getting a new one next year, so oh well, you know.
I would do that. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like something I would be like, well, I'm getting a new one. So at this point, yeah, especially if you're not like trading it in or selling it
But
or
even a
anything.
premium product like a Scotty Cameron,
Have I?
no, I mean, could you like, would you do that? Would you treat a premium product of any sort, a high end camera or a high end anything, so roughly? Would you buy a Lamborghini and slam it into curbs and beat it up? That's the
Uh,
way it feels to me.
with how I drive, probably.
But you're
Um,
just so you just want to enjoy it. You want to use it.
yeah, it's my money. I spent money on it. I want to get as much use out of it as I can.
See, that's just a different. I have such a different philosophy where I spent my hard earned money on it, so I want to make it. I want to keep it looking like the day I got it, while still using it for as long as I possibly can.
No, it's the same way like with my shoes, right? Like
Wear them,
they're all worn. Well, I shouldn't say they're all worn. There's some of them I just haven't gotten to yet, but
sure.
a lot of them look better beat up. You know,
I know a lot of people who would disagree with you.
and they're all wrong. And that's a hill I'm willing to die
I
on,
love
and I
that.
will die on.
I'm glad you. I like to see stuff get used rather than put away, museum piece, that sort of thing. But I definitely still like to take good care of my stuff. But I'm glad that you see shoes and golf clubs as what they are and not
They're,
museum pieces.
yeah,
I think there's a lot
that
of
being
people out there who spend a lot of money on Scotty Cameron stuff to look at it or to put it on their perfect practice mat and then put a coat of oil on it, put the putter cover back on it, and put it away.
that being said, like if one of these was like worn by Michael Jordan and he bled in it or something, yeah, museum piece. Is that the case
Sure,
with
but not
these?
there's a lot of people
No.
who a lot of those shoes right there on that wall, they take them and put them away and never wear them again.
I have a couple pairs like that. The I have like the Levi's fours and like the all black denim. For a lot of people, that's like their
Mhm.
shoe, and I'm like, yeah, it's
That's a
worn.
grail to a lot of people. Absolutely.
It's
Wow.
worn. I've debated on like bleaching it and like shredding them.
I'm glad you. That's a good way to. I think there's a lot of people like you said with sports cars who just want to buy them and look at them. So I definitely think it's good to see stuff getting out there, getting used, and getting enjoyed.
I like to look at, like old putters. I like to see the nicks and the chips and all the little impurities and imperfections because to me they all tell a story. So you
That's a really interesting way of looking at it.
then like that's my big gripe with like I don't want to say everybody, but I feel like a lot of people who do buy the Scotties, the Bettinardies, these really high end putters, the PXG stuff, they have it just to say they have it. Use it for 20 years, make 20 years worth of memories with it, and then maybe you get it restored.
Sure, sure,
To me
sure.
that's so much cooler versus having
I
a
I I
wall of them.
wholeheartedly I wholeheartedly agree with that. Yeah, I would rather see somebody bring their Trillium Newport that they've been gaming for 20 years that looks like hell because they've been gaming it
Hmm.
rather than something that they bought on eBay in bad shape and bring to me to restore so that they can flip it or whatever. Or they want one that just looks, factory fresh, which I can understand, wanting a new one. But you're right. You're absolutely right that one that's been gamed and has 20 years of rounds and memories on it is definitely cooler. Absolutely.
And I feel like that's not going to happen anymore because, like we were talking about earlier, with the way the manufacturers have us think about the technology and everything,
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like that's ever going to really happen anymore,
On
which
the
is
higher end, I think the equipment junkies, the guys that make a lot of money, the country club guys, I think they get hit pretty heavily by the big brands. They get marketed to pretty hard with, demo days and that sort of thing. And the sales reps are hitting those clubs pretty hard where you can't really escape well, all the best players at the club have brand new sets. So I've got to stay up with the brand new set. So I've got to get new clubs every year where they're not sticking with a set for 5, 6, 7 years. They're not sticking with a putter for six,
Hmm.
7, 8 years or a driver. No, I absolutely think there's an aspect of disposability that's coming to the high end or the not necessarily the high end stuff, but the high end stuff for the mid handicapper. Let's say that.
Do you know what brassing is?
Can't say I'm familiar.
So brassing happens on older SLR film cameras, and that has to do with they were made out of metal back in the day, and then they were painted over it. So brassing only happens with repeated use. Think of it like patina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you look at a camera, like I've got a few that have brassing around the edges, and it's just from somebody repeatedly, like the oil in their fingers, constant use. A lot of people are like, wow, it's broken. It's not what it should be anymore. It's not worth it. And I have always seen it as, wow, somebody used this thing for 15, 20 years to have that happen. There's like history in that thing, right? I've always
Absolutely.
looked I've always looked at cars that way, shoes, um, golf clubs, putters, stuff like that. Um, it's like, the shoe I was wearing on a certain day, I can probably be like, yeah, I wore that shoe that day and probably for a certain reason, right? Um, and now it's like the more I travel and play golf, the more I'm like, yeah, I had that putter at that course.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
I
like,
made the putt at this course, that 50 footer from, way on the other side. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's how I've always looked at it, and I feel like more people should look at it that way and like create memories with their equipment versus just buying a new one every year. I don't know. I feel
And
like,
and I think there's an aspect of when you learn your equipment, when you get comfortable with your equipment, you are a better player. I'm the furthest thing from a golf coach, but I think there's definitely you see guys who, I just got these irons, or I just got this driver, so I'm really struggling with it. Or, this shaft's not really quite right. I haven't figured it out yet. Well, what was wrong with your one that you were striping at the end of last season?
hmm
You were hitting that thing great. Somebody sold you 3 extra yards in a simulator, but now you can't hit it straight. So yeah, I definitely think there's an aspect of comfort with your clubs and confidence that comes with that I think people miss out on by constantly upgrading. And I see a lot of that in my brother's case. He's a staff golfer, so he's got to have, he's paid to
hmm
have the newest, latest, and greatest stuff in his bag and promote it to, his members. So for him, it's a new set of clubs every year, which
hmm
is has been really tough for him. The beginning, that March to May aspect of his season is just learning every year, even as a scratch or a plus handicap golfer. So if that kind of golfer is struggling with new equipment every year, so are you.
yeah. And we always talk about growing the game. How can we make golf more affordable? How can we do this, this, and this? I don't think golf will ever be truly affordable. It's always going to be relatively expensive, and I say relatively on purpose because it's going to depend on what you're willing to spend. It's like that with anything, right? Like you can get into photography relatively inexpensive if you go the used route. Um, but like with golf, everyone's like, "Oh, we got to grow the game like this, or this," and it's like, well, the manufacturers don't really want you to grow the game because they want you to get a new club every year. You could get one set of irons and you're good for 20 years. You know what I mean? Where now,
Realistically, for most people, yeah, with the amount that the average
yeah,
golfer plays, realistically, a set would last that long with the quality of modern clubs. Absolutely.
yeah, like I have the LTDX irons. I'm set for who knows how long at this point. You know what I mean? So like that's how you grow the game is just kind of talking to people, being like, hey, all you have to do is spend like, granted, it's like $1,000, but if you break it down over like, say you have those for 10 years, it's $100 a year
Right.
or
Which
even
is
longer.
on the flip side of that, though, do you see the trickle down of used equipment as a an entry point to early golfers, people getting into the game?
Oh yeah, I started with like a mishmash bag. I was putting lessons about my
Mhm.
grandparents at a not a super young age, but I was younger. And I didn't have golf clubs. So my grandpa went into his it was either his garage or the shed and just took a handful of
Yeah,
clubs,
just
threw them in a bag. I had some like pro player clubs. I think I had like a Spalding club, and I had those until I kind of outgrew them. And then that was like the first time I was like, okay, maybe I do need new clubs. And
yeah, when
then
you start to take things a little bit more seriously.
yeah, so you can definitely go the used route. I love the used route. Like we were talking about earlier, you just get everything used other than wedges and you'll be set. I just feel like people don't always want to go that route.
They're not marketed that way.
Yeah.
They're not
They're
marketed
kind of
that way. Yeah,
marketed
no,
as like
absolutely not. And
almost
you're
like B grade almost.
yeah,
You're like
and you're yeah,
that's not the
it's gate
case.
kept. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gate kept. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where you're meant to or you're made to feel like you're playing something that's subpar
Mm-hmm.
when that's so far from the truth because the minute that I put my brand new club on the turf, it's used.
Mm-hmm.
One ball strike, or a guy could have played a set of clubs for one time a week for a half a season and decided they weren't for him. So you're talking about a set of clubs that have 20 ball strikes on them that are now used and half the price for so little play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to justify the expense of some of the new clubs sometimes. And I struggle to ever suggest to buy new.
I only bought new because I wanted the new LTDX set. And when they came out, obviously there weren't any used sets available.
Sure.
I also don't really treat myself very often with like golf clubs and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So
There's
I
absolutely
did it.
a purchase decision that everybody has to go through. But as somebody who's been in the game since I was, since I could walk,
Hmm.
um, I I try to perpetuate or I try to eliminate the stereotype that golf has to be expensive, golf has to be for the uber wealthy. You
Hmm.
have to have the latest and greatest and best equipment to be competitive. I I I I try as much as I can to preach against that. Even though I do often sell really high end stuff, it is so far from what you need to get in and enjoy the game of golf
Oh, for
and to
sure.
just get out there. Yeah. Just
Yeah, I
and,
mean,
and that's the biggest thing is just get out there. Get some clubs and get out there. Go to
yeah, like
Goodwill, get some
I'm
clubs, get out there.
super like I have a buddy who works for a golf course, hits balls all the time, plays the sim every day. I'm up there with him, competitively. Like I shoot the same scores he does. And it has nothing to do with their equipment. It's all
Mm-hmm.
about to me, it's not even about like being competitive. It's just like I know we shoot pretty similar scores because he always gets pissed off that I always shoot relatively the same as him, and I don't work nearly as hard as he does. That's not saying I'm any kind of talented, but I just know how to.
That's golf.
Yeah, I just know what my strengths are. Like he can hit the ball really far, but he can't chip or putt. It's like congrats, that's cool.
That's
But
yeah, that's the game. It's a microcosm of the game of golf.
but it has nothing to do with our equipment. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
whether or not my clubs are 50 years old or not. Like, yeah, trust me, like the new clubs, they're making people hit the balls farther. It's there. But if you're just wanting to get into golf, you're not going to care. You
And
get,
what, is 10 yards further off the tee? a stroke, worth a stroke.
Well, I mean, I
Not
can't
every
hit the
time.
ball straight. So, like for
and
me,
most people can't. But I even if you're seven iron for seven iron, your club goes further by 10 yards, by 5 yards.
mhm,
That's probably not enough for a stroke. You're not going to
no,
get earn a. It's about so much more than just distance or forgiveness or
mhm,
yeah. There's so much more that goes into it than just equipment.
yeah. God, is it fun though?
Yeah, it's we love it.
Uh,
Makes me sad the season's winding down for us Midwest boys.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It snowed. I think I don't know if it's snowing now, but yeah, it snowed.
We got snow on the ground here at the HQ. It's unfortunately the end of golf season here in Indiana, so we're gonna have to be living vicariously through our Florida, Arizona, California, all of our southern friends.
Do you feel like not playing year round makes you enjoy it a little bit more?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. We
I've
were
I've
my
said this
buddies and
before.
I were on 18 um shaking hands last week, in our week. Well, if this is the last time, fellas,
Hmm.
great year. We got to kind of that's a moment you don't really get to have if you play year round. So it's nice to kind of just have that 30 seconds of reflection, even if it was just that, for sure. No,
I
absolutely, it makes me appreciate it more.
I've said that to people and they're like, "But if you could play year round, would you?" It's like, "Well, yeah."
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, all of us would if we had the choice, certainly. But
Yeah. There's
there's
something
something about
about
that first round out in March,
exactly.
and there's something about that last round in October, maybe November,
Oh,
if
trust me,
you're
we don't
lucky.
get out in March.
There's March is yeah, that might be a little early for us too. There might be a municipal course or two open where we try to squeeze in around here, but it absolutely makes me appreciate it more, 100%. And it makes me appreciate the handful of rounds I get to play outside of Indiana or the Midwest in the wintertime when I
Mhm.
travel and meet with customers or do whatever I'm doing with kicks covers to get to play a round of golf in February or January or whatever is a nice treat.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably my favorite part of the Midwest is I just feel like we appreciate golf a little bit more. And I'm not saying that other places don't, but I feel like we definitely take advantage of the nicer days more because yeah, you're out in California, you can probably play almost every day for the most part, depending where you
Yeah.
are, like San Diego or whatever. But uh I've always liked that about the golf season or having a golf season. The reflection. I feel like the moments are a little bit better where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I did do that this year and it was super fun.
Yeah,
I
that
feel like
was another thing is it's nice for me in terms of the growth of my game, the way that
mhm,
I've improved. I kind of use it as a point where I can set goals for myself for, things I want to do and things I want to improve on. So I want to accomplish, X, Y, and Z this season. And did I accomplish these things? And then I can use the off season as I want to get better at X, Y, and Z, and then use that to set my goals for the next season. So it's
mhm.
kind of a nice way to train and improve my game.
And I
Whereas I
like
think if you're
having
constantly playing all the time, you can fall into that trap of the cycle of I don't know what's going wrong.
well, and I like having an off season because like you said it best, you can work on stuff. Like I know my hands are too close to my body
Mm-hmm.
throughout my swing, and so in the off season, I want to work on having my hands just further out. And if I'm doing that during
Mm-hmm.
the year, I'm not gonna have as much fun. Um,
Absolutely,
but
100%.
I it gives you time to like reflect on, wow, what can I do better? How can I
Mm-hmm.
change it? And then let's make that change. It helps that with the uptick of like simulator bars or companies and stuff like that are more and more popular. So you can just go right into simulator for an hour, hour and a half, and just
I
swing
am
your heart
lucky
out.
enough to have one in my garage. um, Nothing crazy, just a sky track.
Sure.
Another Molly purchase actually. um, so
And
I,
they
you know,
got
I
you
just I
good.
got a mat. Oh, I'm hooked. Oh, I'm hooked. Um, just a mat and a net. You know, you
Hmm.
don't even really need a simulator. Like you can feel solid contact. You can work on things like your hands being too close to your body with an indoor setup, even in your garage in the
Hmm.
Midwest. I do absolutely enjoy having an off season, and I haven't really considered before you said that. I haven't really considered how much I enjoy the season slowing down a little bit and being able to reflect on some things and figure out what's going to make the game more enjoyable for me next year. Because like we were talking about before we started recording, we we're busy people as adults. Like we only get so many times to play a week, a month, a year, a season.
Hmm.
So savoring those and being able to go out there and execute and play well and enjoy yourself because you know you can go out there and shoot 100 and still have a good time, but we all want to go out there and shoot a good round too.
Hmm.
You have go out there shoot 76 and have a much better time. So being able to work on some things to then maximize that time next year is definitely nice.
Yeah. No, it's definitely one of my favorite parts that I feel like a lot of people don't think about or take into account.
No, it's not at all. Yeah, it's overlooked on my end for sure.
But then, like, people who don't have a true winter probably would never, you know, have to think about
They'd
it.
never trade. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. And I'm like, I like having off season. I love taking my clubs out of my car and being like, damn, not touching them until X
The
month.
end of season clean.
I should do that. That good reminder.
He said,
Because
the end of
mine are
season clean
probably
is
mine are
therapy. Cleaning
dirty.
all the junk out of your bag, all the water bottles, the empty Pro V boxes.
I mean, let me tell you, I'm looking at my 3 wood. It's kind of nasty. So good
My
call.
clubs are filthy. No, it's those October rounds. Those October Midwest rounds. It's the ground's wet. It's never pure like August, so your clubs get definitely get dirtier for sure.
Uh, I've ooh, I haven't played since August. Derek and I
Really,
played.
it's been that long since you last played.
I had to think about it. I haven't played 18 since probably July. Um, Derek and I hit up a local par three course in August, and that was fun.
I do like a good par three.
I'm a busy person. Like, just I'll go play alone. I don't care. I'm not one of those
Me too.
people. But
Me
my
too. I
fear
play
is,
alone a lot. I play a lot of lucky enough to be a member of a private club where I can financially afford to go play 3 holes. It's not, financially prohibitive to
oh,
pay for 9 to go play 3, you know.
yeah.
Um I
I mean,
pay up front, I guess. So I
yeah.
go and play as many as I can until I can't see the ball anymore. It's usually 3 or 4. Then I go have a
Yeah.
drink and head home.
I mean, I'll go play like a local muni, like executive 9 hole. I've done that before because I almost hit into a
Mhm.
group of kids because they were taking too damn long. I'm like, it
That's
should.
the trouble with those kind of places is the etiquette lacks for sure.
Oh, I'm like, it shouldn't take you 15 minutes to play 3 hole. Like, maybe not 3 hole, but it took them long. Like, I was like, you've had enough time. And then watched like what they were doing, and I was like, are you really teeing off with your putter? And he was like trying, and he's like, it was the eighth hole, so I was like, at this point, like, I'm done. He's like, I catch up to them on the ninth hole. We're all in the tee box. He goes, hey, I'm sorry, I was teaching him how to play golf. And I kind of looked at him. I looked at what they were doing. I'm like, why would you apologize and then tee off with a putter? He goes,
Right.
what? I'm like, you're teaching him how to play golf, which is cool, don't get me wrong. But then I'm like, you're gonna sit here
Teach
at this par three and you're teeing off with your putter. He goes,
gotta
yeah, what would you
teach
do?
the
I'm
right
like,
way.
I'm gonna hit like I'm gonna hit like a 60 degree under the green.
See, that's the growth of the game. We get ourselves into a little bit of trouble,
At that point, I was
unfortunately.
like, let's not grow the game anymore. I think it's good. But then I was like, at least he was teaching him, but whatever.
Yeah, I definitely I love all the new faces and everybody's enthusiasm for the game of golf, but it has really it's hurt the public courses in terms of their pace and the
Mhm.
condition. When I go out and play the public courses here with some of my local friends, I'm a lot of times appalled by the lack of divots being repaired and filled, ball marks on greens not getting filled. So I think it's important, not to be, stuffy and stiff upper lip, but I think it's important that if you're bringing somebody into the game, that you teach them the etiquette, the pace of play. If you're gonna suck, that's fine. Nobody cares
Mhm.
if you shoot 120. Do it quick. Just suck. With
Suck
pace.
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you take a huge chunky divot on a tee box on a practice swing, just fill it with sand or replace it.
Yep.
If you hit a good shot into a green and you leave a fucking crater, fix it. Like
Fix that
you got to take
crater.
care of the course, and you got to if you're going to teach your friends to play, you got to teach those lessons not only how to swing, you got to teach the etiquette too, because there's a lot of people who spend a lot of time and a lot of money maintaining these places, and knowing a lot of the people in the industry and the maintenance and in the greenskeeper world, they hate us. So we got to do better for them because they do a lot of hard work for us. They're up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, taking care of where we like to go, so we can all do them a favor too. That's my little PSA. I like to shout out anytime I get a platform. Take
I
care of your
couldn't
greenskeeper. Buy him a beer.
couldn't have said it better. We're gonna wrap it up. I have two questions that we have to ask. We always do a food question, and then we always do one that I've been
All right.
implementing because I think it's super fun. Um, the first one we're gonna do is the one that I've started to implement just because everybody's gotten different reactions and it's been kind of a fun conversation to hear everybody. So, like in baseball, they have like the walk-up music and stuff like that. We're not doing walk-up songs. So throw what I said out the window. At your funeral, what song do you want to be lowered into the ground with?
Oh man.
And I can't take any credit for this. This is from the You Betcha Radio podcast, guys. You're up in Fargo. Um, my go-to answer has been like a pimp by David Banner.
Oh man. You've got me on the spot.
It can be something like fun and lighthearted, make your family cry, or you could make it some kind of funny and make everybody go, "What the hell was Nathaniel into?"
I think I think I'm going with Cream, Wu-Tang Clan. Cash rules everything around me
Cream,
as they lower me into my Scrooge McDuck pile of gold coins. How about that?
dollar dollar bill, y'all.
We'll go with
Yeah,
that. We'll go with some old Wu Tang.
I'm gonna stick with like a pimp by David Banner,
I think that's a
just
solid choice.
just because like first real girls get down on the floor, duh. But then I want people to go, "Is this still a funeral?" And then
Like,
it's just
wait, are we
like,
like allowed to?
yeah, I think that'd be kind
Can
of
we
funny.
smile? Can we have a good time?
Can we have fun? Like Freem would be good though. That's a good one. Yeah. And then Derek and I are somehow in Indiana, which isn't far-fetched for me because I actually have family in Indiana. Actually, when you said Fort Wayne, she lives in Fort Wayne. She hates it because there's nothing to do.
That's where we are. That's Kicks Covers headquarters, located Fort Wayne. That's home for me.
I'll send her to
And
harass you guys.
it gets a little boring around here, but that's we keep ourselves busy with the golf.
So Derek and I find ourselves in Fort Wayne. What is one place we have to check out to eat?
All right, it's between two places,
Let's hear both.
and I'm not gonna give you. I'm not. You want both? Or you want the one?
Let's do. Are you able to pick like the one?
I think I can. I think I
Okay,
can because
let's do
the
that.
owner's good people. So I think we got to do that. All
Okay.
right, Hideout 141 in Fort Wayne. Prohibition style steak and seafood. Great cocktails.
Ooh.
Wonderful ambiance. Um, Owner is a awesome member of the like Black business community in Fort Wayne. Does a ton for helping people of color start small businesses in Fort Wayne. Does a lot with the Chamber of Commerce. Super, super, super good guy. So go check out his restaurant, Hideout 141. Probably the best eats in Fort Wayne, and good people too.
Is it 125? Hideout 125.
Did I fuck his restaurant name up? Ouch. Yeah, 125. That's right.
I literally Googled Hideout 141 Fort Wayne and it came to Hideout
141.
125
Where did I
Fort
get
Wayne.
141? 125. Hideout 125.
Damn, that looks cool. I'm looking at pictures
It
of it.
is a really, really cool place. Really, really unique, kind of smaller, really cool place.
I'm gonna go. I don't know when I'm gonna go to Indiana. I know that she's been bugging me to go visit her. I'm like, I don't want to go visit you in Indiana. Hate to break it to
Hey,
you.
yeah, come see us. Yeah, come see us.
Well, now I have an excuse. And
Come
I'm
see
gonna,
us. Come see family. Come get some good eats.
yeah, she just had a kid, so I should probably visit eventually, even though I don't like babies.
I'm not a kid guy either. Can't
I'm
say I'm a
not
kid
either.
guy either.
She wasn't either, but poof, here it is.
Don't
Um,
tell my better half, but
I don't, well, I guess my better half's Derek. That doesn't quite work. So I also don't think his wife
that's
would
it.
appreciate that. All right, Nathaniel, thanks for coming on.
Well, we'll have to come
Uh,
back on again, and we'll catch you and Derek.
yeah, whenever he's like not sick, his immune system sucks. Um, thanks for coming on though. It
Absolutely.
was a
Thanks for having
little,
me, guys.
yeah, a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but I feel like it was a really good conversation.
No,
Um,
I'm glad you think it was a good chat.
what do you not think it was good or?
I think I ramble, so I always get nervous that
Oh, dude,
I ramble.
I mean, it's still recording. I have ADD. Like
Oh, same.
we did one, I shouldn't say we, I did one with Los Golferos for like the second one that we did with them. It's like 2.5 hours. It's just nonsense.
I feel like the reason I sell so much stuff is because I can't focus on one product for like longer than a month. Like
Oh,
I get bored with it
you,
and I'm like, let's sell
do you
something
see how
new.
many like freaking clubs I pulled out?
Oh, I'm the same way. We'll see, I got wedges here, got four putters over here, I got a driver over here. I got too much going on.
I'm just looking at all the shoes. Like I got these stupid things. I got some Hokas. I'm all over the place.
Gotta have the running stuff.
Oh, I got to. Yeah.
So when you go to work, do you wear Jordans or do you have to wear running stuff?
I'm the boss.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I definitely wore I definitely wore some Jordans last week. Um, normally,
But you don't
uh,
necessarily work for one individual brand, so it's not like you have to wear
no,
one
but
brand.
I try to wear stuff that we carry.
Right, right.
Like I wouldn't go with these because we don't carry Adidas because Adidas left retail. That's a whole thing. But like Hokas, yeah, I'll go wear Hokas or Mizuno or Brooks. Brooks are like my favorite. Um, Stuff like that.
All right, so if I'm gonna get my butt in shape this off season, what's a pair of shoes that I need to buy that's gonna be good for me? A good running shoe for me to get myself in shape.
So if anybody's still listening, um,
Now we're
what
rambling.
I do is we do a gait analysis. So we look at how your arches move, how your gait works, and then from there we would recommend certain shoes that would fit your support criteria, stuff like that. However, there are certain shoes that just kind of work for everybody. Brooks does a great job with their guide rail system. The Adrenaline is probably one of my favorite shoes I've ever worn. They're on the 23, so the shoe's been around 23 years. Um, and the way the Brooks support works is think of bumpers in bowling, right? Keep your ball in the lane. You never really hit the gutters. What the guide rails do is they just keep your foot smack dab in the middle of the shoe.
I feel like I'm always sliding out to the side, so that does sound like something I would need.
So that sounds like you almost have like a supination.
Yep.
So the guide rail would kind of kick you back in a little bit. Otherwise, you could do Hoka's. Um, Funny enough, I got my Clifton right here. I know these are like super polarizing for people, but they've changed the running industry single-handedly. The way Hoka's work, you kind of sit down inside all of the foam, so it kind of eliminates a lot of the extra foot movement. Think of bucket seats for cars, how they kind of like
Hmm.
suck you back in. That's essentially
Lock
what these
in.
do for your feet.
Sure.
Yeah. And what's nice is they take aftermarket orthotics really well. So like I work with Curex quite a bit, so I love the Curex stuff. Um, they sent me a box of golf ones, which I have right over there too. So like I
Hmm.
love these. The Brooks do a great job as well.
I would like to see a more comfortable golf shoe. As much as I love my Jordans, they're not comfortable.
Yeah.
They're
Um,
heavy. For a golf shoe, they're heavy.
oh God, I have so many golf shoes that I haven't even worn yet. Derek got me some from Squares. They're still in the box. Um, I tried out some from the brand Stroll.
Can't say I'm familiar. I've seen the squares ones. I don't know Stroll.
The Stroll ones are super light, but they feel very flat, if that makes sense. Like there's no like natural motion to them, which kind of bothers me. So that's where something
Sure.
like the
Like a lower
golf,
profile.
yeah. So like that's where like the golf Curex might be really nice. And these are cool. They have like grip and like strategic areas for like the foot movement and everything.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah, I'm lucky enough to like work with these brands outside of this and like have cool products and everything. And like the reps know me well enough to be like, yeah, that's Dom. Um, I'll pull them out. There's like little. I I told them I was gonna make a reel on them, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. There's like grip right there, some on the heel,
That's really interesting.
so it keeps your heel in place. But then that's also where a lot of people's foot pivot. But what's cool with these is they have a really nice arch plate, heel cushion, and then metatarsal pad that actually goes up to your big toe. So it just adds a little bit more support for your foot.
Interesting. Those are really interesting.
They're not super expensive either. They're like $55.
I'm gonna slide into the Save Par podcast DMs to get a link for you when we're done here.
Yeah, these are cool. I have yet to really try them, but Curex right now, in terms of like market leader, they're the number one in like running orthotics and everything like that. They're
In
made in
running.
Germany.
And if they're good for running, that they're good enough for me to walk a couple thousand steps while I golf.
Well, those ones are specifically for golf. However, they use a lot of the same technology and like the running ones. So, like the running ones I have right here. There's no added grip, but they have
So
the same arch plate and the same metatarsal. But what's nice with these
sure,
is they're super bendy,
sure.
but the arch is nice and hard.
I would like to see more footwear tech in golf. I think it's kind of a underdeveloped industry, in my opinion.
There's so much technology going into running shoes and basketball shoes and stuff like
Hmm.
that. I don't think I have any other of my like work shoes in here. No, just Crocs and my UFOs. But like there's so much technology in this single shoe. And I mean these are super light. Everybody's like, oh man, Hoka's super heavy. I'm like, they're making one of the lightest shoes out there on the market. Period. Um, I don't know why they couldn't implement this. Obviously, like the shape you couldn't do for golf because it's meant to rock and everything. Um, but like this material, it's super durable, but it's super breathable and lightweight. The cushioning's really nice, but it's not mushy.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I just feel like a lot of golf products just are not supportive.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't. They're not geared to comfort, which I think is an interesting aspect of golf products. Is even some of the like cushier looking foot joys aren't super padded. There isn't anything out there that looks like that that has that level of padding.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you have to go out there and golf in a Hoka. God, I'd love it. Like these would be just like
I
unbelievable.
feel like there's got to be for the guys that walk or the push cart guys. I feel like there's got to be a better solution.
So that's why Tiger's not wearing Nike.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, and for
Yeah.
like a lot of people who don't know shoes or sneakers or just how feet work, they're like, well, why? Nike's this. I'm like, Nike's not even like a top five running shoe for a lot of for a
Mm-mm.
lot of places. Um, FootJoy's support is really kind of unparalleled in the golf market when it comes to footwear. The issue is they don't have the cushion, so you're giving up
Right.
one over the other. So I'm willing to bet Tiger has some kind of custom um cushioning in his FootJoy,
Hmm.
because we've seen him, and like wear the Nike free type stuff, like the his older Tiger shoes
Hmm.
for like driving range and stuff like that. But when he
Hmm.
goes out and plays, it's all some kind of like old man looking FootJoy
Yeah. Real heavy leather looking. Yeah. Definitely some things going on under the hood in that shoe for sure.
because they're super structured and they keep his foot planted and um he broke the same ankle I broke. His was a little bit more dramatic, I would say. Um, if you're off even a little bit with a weak ankle, it kind of ruins your whole day. So the FootJoy just provides support, good plant, which we're starting to see in like the running industry. Like this is a really wide forefoot. We're
Hmm.
seeing a lot more golf shoes do that now.
Yeah. I'm using the TW13 right now, and I can absolutely see why he can't use it anymore because it has absolutely no lateral stability. Nothing.
Yeah, and even like if you look at, you know, from above it, these are just gross. I've had these a while. It kind of goes out like an outrigger, kind of like a basketball shoe would
Hmm.
for 4 foot support, stability.
Stability.
Um,
Right.
that's huge, and it's something that we're kind of taking for granted. Um, I love these damn things. They're super ugly. I'm probably gonna wear them tomorrow. Oh, they stink though.
But
I
if
need
they're
new ones.
comfortable, yeah, that's what matters. I would
Yeah,
rather be comfortable than anything.
yeah. I'd rather shoot 100 and be comfortable than shoot 76 and just have to like hobble off in pain.
Yeah, and I think a lot of like, as much as I hate to say it, those Jordan 1 lows that we all love so much are they're the worst defenders. Those things are bad.
I actually really like them, but I like firmer shoes.
Do you put anything in them? Do you put an insole or an orthotic in them?
Not always. I get to kind of like test out some fun things. What size shoe do you wear?
11.
I'm gonna send you uh when you sign my DM, send me your address, I'll send you a pair.
I will.
I have these heat moldable insoles that are really cool. I have a pair of those in my Jordan ones, and they more or less just help with the support. Um, but I tend to like a firmer shoe. So like I've played who knows how many rounds with just them without any additional support.
My complaint is I get to let's just say the 12th hole, and I can feel the pressure points in my feet.
Mm,
I can feel on my like on the instep, on my heel, I can feel the pressure in my feet. Whereas when I wear foot joys or something else, I don't feel that. So those
that's
I feel
the
like are not not very they're not well suited for real athletic activity.
yeah, I mean it's a basketball shoe that they sort of golf sole on. I don't know what people like
And it's an
expected.
old basketball shoe.
85, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's an old basketball shoe they haven't done anything with in a long time. So
yeah,
I definitely think there's something to be desired in the comfort department, but they definitely look good.
yeah. I have a pair of they're from Sole, it's Sole. Um and mine, basically you cook them in your oven a little bit, you throw them in the shoe you want them in, and then you stand on them and it molds to your foot.
Hmm.
So for running, they're okay because they take away a lot of the natural movement that you want in your shoe.
Hmm.
However, for golf, when it comes to providing support and all of this excess foot movement that a lot of golfers do,
Sure.
it helps restrict a lot of it. Um, so I really think they're comfortable. They squeak a little bit. That might just be my pair, but it's not like obnoxious. They also have to like form to the shoe, which takes a little bit. Um,
Hmm.
they sent me legitimately like 7 pairs. I don't need seven, so I'll send one your way.
I'm happy to check them out. I like picking your brain because I always like to learn something new about something I don't know too much about. So it's always nice to learn a little something new.
Yeah, and I love orthotics. I don't really need them, but like with like the Clifton from Hoka, there's no interior support because there's not designed to be. This is one of those shoes where not every shoe is designed for it. Not every car is a diesel, that type of thing.
Hmm.
Um, but obviously if I'm standing all day, 8 hours, I want that support. You just pop a pair of those and then you're good to go. And everyone's like, well, that's an additional $50. And it's like, yeah, but how much is it to go to the doctor or your
Yeah, and
podiatrist
like
or
what's
whatever?
the price to pay on being comfortable?
Exactly. 55, 54.99 for your X.
And then like they're gonna last you a lot more than 50 days. So dollar a day or whatever it is. You want to break it
Oh
down that
yeah.
way? Yeah. Yeah.
Generally, when I tell people, generally shoes 300 to 500 miles, depending on the shoe, X will last just as long.
Yeah. So
So
there
if
you
they buy
go.
them
Right.
together,
Over the
yeah,
life of your shoe, the cost is nothing.
yeah. So I tell people if you buy them together and you wear them together, when you need a new shoe, just get a new pair. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's really easy. So then they'll just
Yeah,
bring
it
me
is
the
really easy.
shoe. They'll bring me the shoe with the insole in it. They're like, I just want this again. And you're just like, boom, boom, done.
Done. Easy.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fun gig.
It sounds like it. I mean, you turned what you loved into what you do for a living. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and then like there's
It
all
may not
sorts
be
of fun.
Jordans, but it's shoes.
Well, yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, Jordans haven't really innovated in a while because now they're just
Yeah, what
recycling.
you're exactly. Yeah, you're selling interesting new tech. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's nothing else really in here that's like running because I keep all those. I have like a big thing outside with just like boxes on them.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sure
but
you got a ton.
yeah, yeah. No, it's unreal.
It's like
Uh,
it's out of control.
it is. I mean, I have so many, but I get to wear all sorts of fun stuff and do reviews and stuff like that for the
Yeah,
reps and the companies. So it's a lot of fun.
everybody likes free gear.
That too. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to I need to get into the Titleist rep. That's my next one. I need free golf balls.
I mean, we have a golf ball sponsor and we don't get free golf balls.
Dang. I
We
gotta get
get
on staff then it sounds like.
we get 25% off though.
It's not bad.
If we do need free golf balls for like an event, they'll send it to us. It's not,
Sure.
you
Just not
know,
for you
it
to hit into the woods.
well, I mean, they're designed to get hit into the woods. So
Just with advertising promotion.
yeah, so like we're partnered with Odin. So
Oh, okay, sure.
basically they wanted to get rid of like the stuffy golf balls, the stuffy brand, stuff like that. So I like the X1s. I don't have a boxer. I mean, this is the X, but the X1 is kind of their like I think that's more their pro level ball,
Hmm.
and a dozen is like under $30.
It's great value.
And they perform really well. And I've had some people tell me, well, at the sim they don't, and it's like, well, yeah, it's a simulator. Like it's not real world. you're also assuming that doesn't work for my like just because it works for my game doesn't mean it's gonna work for your game.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, absolutely.
and I'm like, until you actually like hit one out in the wild, as I call it, you're never really gonna get the full story.
And a lot of those small brands, if you slide in their DMs and say, "Hey, can I have a sleeve to try?" They're pretty generous most times.
I know the founders, Jordan might just send you one. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of times with those small brands, especially with stuff that I do, if you've got a legitimate question, you want to give something a shot, drop me a message. You never know.
Can I try one of those Scotties? Just
Hey, you never know. I might be feeling generous that day.
it depends how many drinks you had.
Yeah, hey, maybe, yeah, maybe I had a couple of drinks and a good sales day. Yeah, sure, man.
Oh, I don't think I'd ever ask for one of those, but good to know.
You'd
Get
be
you.
surprised. You'd be surprised what people ask for free around here. I'm sure
Oh,
you've seen plenty of that.
we don't really have anything to give away. So like that's kind of the
But what
good
about
part.
promotion? People don't ask you for promotion.
Yeah, Derek, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm
that's why we
sure.
keep the pages separate. Uh
Yeah.
yeah. Um I know I've had some people talk to me, "Oh, hey, would you be interested in doing this?" And Derek's like,
You want to collaborate when it's just, hey, you want to give me free promotion or free
"Yeah."
stuff?
Well, and
Yeah.
Derek and I first me being, I'm like, "Yeah, like it seems nice and harmless." And Derek goes, "I would say no if it was a safe par page." And I'm like,
Hmm.
"Oh." And he goes, "Yeah, that's something that like people pay for." And I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh, so I just did all that for free." And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's okay."
Yeah, and there's some aspect of, you got to do a little bit of free stuff on the back end to kind of earn the paid business on the front end. I understand that, but there's a lot of times that we get a lot of people who reach out and ask, hey, do you want to collaborate on X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, sure, lay it out for me. And the collaboration is, well, you're gonna send me your products, and then I'm gonna tell people about them. Well, I'm not so sure about that, but I do appreciate your interest, and you have to be respectful. And a lot of them are young guys who are, trying to self start for themselves, and I do understand.
Hmm.
But you know, we're trying to eat too. We gotta put food on our tables as well. We're still trying to run a business. So, if you want to come to us and collaborate with us, you've got a good idea for collaboration. I'm always open to hear it, but I wish I had to deal with a little bit less of the can I have free stuff for a post on my page?
I started shooting cars the last probably year and a half. And I come from a background of shooting portraits and everything like that. So I've never shot cars
Hmm.
before. So everybody whose car I have shot, I have not asked for payment for that exact reason. It's like this is for my portfolio. I don't want to pay.
Sure,
I just you do the work now, so then that work later pays off, right?
absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
I'm lucky enough to know people with some like super fun cars. My good buddy has like a 74 Stingray. I've shot that before. Another couple friends of mine have I just shot their 2010 Z06, but then I've also shot their 911 Turbo S and stuff like that. But just like I'm lucky to like have this. Um, we did I don't want to say it's like a collaboration, but we definitely worked with Bag Boy for our trip to California. And they were like, "We'll send you each a bag." And I was like, "I'm in. What do you want us to do?" Like a travel bag. Because I'm like, "We need this." And I had some like fun ideas planned and I laid it out for them. I'm like, "Hey, we want to do this, this, and this," and just kind of talk about the importance of how a good travel bag
Hmm.
will save your clubs, right? It's an investment. And they go, "We love it." They sent us each a travel bag. We did an unboxing. We did a like how to pack it, and then we made a reel of us landing in SFO and then picking it up from MSP.
Sure.
Clubs got there and back. That's fine. And funny enough, those are like some of my most successful reels on the page. And I'm like, I don't understand why that is, but yeah, to have a collaboration, it means to collaborate. You
And
gotta work together.
that's when we've been so eager to work with you guys is when you see the kind of it's value added collaboration.
Hmm.
It's not let's just do something together and you know vomit more garbage onto the timeline and just try to make some money. It's what value do we add to your brand, or what value does this influencer or this person online add to my brand, or what can they show that I don't show?
Hmm.
Where those kind of collaborations always wind up in something really, really cool and really unique, like you said. And that's why we've been so eager to work with you guys, is because we can see that you don't want to just recycle stuff and the money printer. You're in it for the right reasons. You care about the development of brands that you actually find compelling and quality, and you want to share with more people.
And that's the whole reason we started this was we wanted to give brands a platform, and not even brands, because I feel like saying brands kind of implies that everybody's this big corporate entity, and that's not at all
Mm-hmm.
the case. But it
Mm-hmm.
gives people or brands a place to talk about them, right? Like you're saying, hey, do you have any talking points? Blah, blah, blah. I really don't. When Derek's here, yeah, he's a little bit more laid out. He has his laptop with questions and everything. Um, I like to do it where it's like, let's just see where the conversation goes. Because that's kind of how I view this. I view this as a
Mm-hmm.
conversation. Do I have an endpoint? Yeah, we passed it. But here we are, we're still talking. The cool thing with us though is like we'll actually like use the gear that we're sent or
Exactly.
want to try,
Exactly.
like I pulled these off my actual clubs from my actual golf bag, you know, and every picture I post of my bag, I tag you because it always has
They're
a,
there. Yep.
like they're there, they don't leave. Um, and we generally don't reach out to people that we don't find interesting or worth the time. You know what I mean? Like we don't just DM everybody, hey, you want to collaborate this or this? Like I've definitely said no to having people on the pod. Just like I don't always agree with what they're doing in the golf industry or something like that, or just maybe the way they hold themselves, I don't really agree with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky I have that flexibility with Derek.
Yeah.
Even though I do all the scheduling, he doesn't really do a whole lot. Um, I shouldn't say that, but like I do the scheduling, I tell him who's on and stuff like that. So,
Sure.
um, but generally, if we have somebody on as somebody we really enjoy or look up to in some sense, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the way your business is, the quality's there, the printing's dope, and now you're doing embroidery. I'm definitely like kind of pumped about that because my putter cover right now, I bought it at the 3M Open, and it's all Minnesota embroidered. So like it has our license plate, the You Betcha, the loon, and it's something where it's like if it's screen printed, it probably wouldn't look as fun. But like I love
Mm-hmm.
that it's embroidered. Um, it really just comes down to like the quality of what brands are pushing, and I just messaged Good Boy Golf. I don't know if you follow them at all.
Not sure I'm familiar.
I I'm new to them as well.
Have to go
Um,
check them out.
Super dope. They're making really, really cool, very functional, very athletic golf apparel, but it's incredibly affordable. Um, I have one of the like super lightweight like golf hoodies from Good Good. That thing was like $100, and I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like the quality's nice. They came out with like the same thing with pockets, and of course I'm like, oh, dude, it has pockets. I'm sold, and it's like $50, and I'm like, well, you know, what makes one way more expensive than the other? And it's like, there's nothing. It's just the brand name, and I'm like, well, that
Yeah,
sucks.
exactly. Yeah, how many more people have to get paid in between X and Y? Yep, that's the
Yeah.
difference.
So I reached out to them, and I was like, well, actually, they hit me up, but I had followed them prior. I was like, man, that's super cool that you're making something so functional but so affordable at the same
Yeah,
time,
high
right?
quality, functional, affordable. Yeah, checking all the boxes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like uh we did little like sample polos with Odin. So like Derek and we have like only two. Uh Quality is unreal. The stitching super cool. We have like little hidden floral all over it. It looks if you dig deep enough on the page, you'll see pictures of me wearing it. Because every event we do, that's what I wear. Um, but we can't find a way to make it. affordable for everybody. So that's why
Right.
we never put it out. And it's one of those things where it's like if we could figure out how to make it affordable, but still not have to like buy 400 of them at a time,
Right.
we would do it.
Right.
That's
That's
where
the
we did
box
our
we try to check is we try to find that middle ground between quality, affordability, and availability. It's
hmm
all trying to find a method where we got away from the vinyl, but we're in the DTG printing now, the UV printing, where the quality, the durability, the color on that is fantastic. Then you're looking at it's affordable enough that we can do single pieces and the quality is there. It's going to last for a long, long time. And it's something that you can get in 2 weeks. So it's
hmm
available. And that's
Yes.
kind of the niche that we've been in and the reason I think we've found our success so far.
Yeah. So we did our little like shindig apparel line. So I made this. This is custom. This one's not available. So we did hoodies, shirts, crew necks, and hats, right? So that's actually embroidered. And then I bleached it. But then the back is where it gets super fun. This is all like
So
super
those are
nicely
nice.
screen printed. I've watched this, I don't know how many times, but it's still like super nice. This is all drop shipped. So we're able to make this design. People can order it through Odin. It gets made for them and then just shipped to them. So it's all drop shipped. So we don't have like
Nice.
tons of like merch laying around. But then yeah, I this one's custom. I bleached it and everything. So
That's really cool though.
it's different every time. Kind of fun. Um, but yeah, I feel like if more brands could do something like this, where like this hoodie is like $55. That's
That's
not
yeah.
bad.
See, that's finding that perfect middle ground between it's available because you guys don't have to keep 1,000 in inventory between 5 different sizes. It's affordable and it's high quality. That's all anybody really wants.
Yeah, and I think we make like $2. So there's there's not a whole lot of money being made, but other than just we wanted people who attended the shindig or had fun or just wanted to support us to be able to wear something. So
Yeah, absolutely. Just getting your brand out there. Yeah, I find myself a lot of times I just ordered new beanies actually. I do a line of hats and a line of beanies every year that are just a
mhm.
little bit different. And they don't sell super well because my brand's not, we're not good. It's not the kind of thing you want to, throw on your head and rock unless you're really familiar with what we do, which isn't a ton of people. And there's a lot of golf hats and a lot of golf brands out there to rock a good hat from. So I don't
I
feel bad
have
that my hats don't sell that well.
I
But
have one. It's really nice.
they are really nice. They're super high quality,
I like the
like
rubber
everything we
patch.
make.
It's
The
a
rubber
nice hat.
patch, they're nice hats, but I find myself throwing the majority of the hats that we order. I find myself throwing them in with orders. Like if you order, a couple $100 of stuff, throw you in a
Mhm.
free hat because it's more about, I want to see somebody wearing my brand out in the world more than anything, more than I want to make money. I can make money on the stuff that I'm really good at, like the stuff that we make here, like head covers and putters and that
Mhm.
sort of thing, and the hats and that the promo stuff. That's all just fun stuff that we do on top.
I really like the tees because you sent us a box with the head covers, hats, and then like a box of
Western
tees.
Birch,
Those are
Western
nice.
Birch, they're the best. We early on, I can't remember who I bought something from. Northern Ball Markers. I don't know if you're familiar. Out in the UK. Um,
Sounds cool.
they do laser engraved ball markers, and early on in kicks covers, I it had started to kind of take off a little bit, and it become a little bit of a less of a side hustle and more of a side business.
hmm
So I wanted to get something cool for golfing, so I ordered a ball marker with my early logo on it from him, and he sent me a pack of similar to what we sent with you guys with a business card, a sticker, and a couple of tees in it. And I thought that was a really cool idea, so I straight jacked it from him, and I've been doing it ever since. And we use Western Birch. They make really nice hardwood and bamboo tees. They've got like they do them by season, so every quarter there's 12 or 13 new colorways, and
hmm
that kind of times that we order like 20,000, and that the seasons kind of time up with how fast we can go through 20,000 tees, and then So there's always a fresh mix of colors. So every customer I've ever talked to always loves those Western birch teas.
Yeah, I like them. Derek did
You got to get some
customs.
safe par ones made.
So Derek did custom safe parties for our tournament. I don't know who he did them through, but they were really fun too. They're white and then have the red stripe and then have the logo up top.
Uh, I mean, there's a lot of overseas manufacturers, obviously, and Western birch, they're made in the US and they are a little bit expensive, but they're super, super premium. If you use Western birch teas, you know what I'm talking about. If I pull one out of
Oh,
my, yeah, those, I think I have, I was going to say, I have some of your safe parties around here somewhere.
yeah. So this is like what Derek.
If you use a Western birch tea, if you don't hit one fat, you can use a Western birch tea for 18 holes.
Oh, I guarantee you, I'll break it.
Something about the way I hit a driver. I put flat spots on the side of them, but I never break them. I can use one single Western birch tea for 18 holes
Yeah, I've got all sorts of teas in my little Odin
as long
koozie.
as I don't find them or as long as I don't lose them behind me.
Oh, I bust everything. Like it's crazy. Yeah, one tea, a hole. Yeah.
Well, then if you're using your save par teas, it's just advertising then.
That's yeah. I think I probably have more of them than Derek does. I don't think he knows that, but I definitely have more. Um, Not everybody took a swag bag when we did our shindig, and I was like, well, this is dumb. I don't want to throw everything away. So I took all the teas. So I have a bunch of teas, and then I
You
have
got a
a
nice
bunch of
stash saved up.
yeah, and then I have a bunch of these like Swing Strong drink packet things. I don't even like these. I think they're gross. But
He's like, I got a bunch of them.
I have quite a few, so
Yeah, I've got a lot of that stuff around. Just stuff that I've accumulated over the years.
yeah. I keep notes people write. So like I've got one from Nate from Acorn Hills. The Gulf Pharaohs wrote me one. Uh yeah. Uh, there's a bunch of stuff. Like just looking around my desk. Yeah. A little bit of a
Always
hoarder.
nice to have those though. I do also I have whenever I get a handwritten note from the companies we work with, I always throw them up on my whiteboard too for sure.
Yeah.
I wish I had
I
time to write a handwritten note for all the orders that I pack. I really wish I do. It's always such a nice thing to get when you open up a box, but I don't have enough time.
yeah. What I can't find it, but like what the Gulf Pharaohs did was when they pack their so I ordered some towels from them.
Hmm.
Um they'll like print out like the manifest for it and then they just wrote thanks for the order, but I think they went a little bit but I probably threw it in like a box somewhere. But it was just like a super nice note. And I'm like, I know them. I could just call them up and like talk to them, but it's like it's kind of nice that they wrote me a little
No,
note.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, just that extra minute of thought is always really nice. It's definitely a nice touch. It's definitely something I wish I could incorporate in my orders, but then I could only do it for some and not others, then, I feel bad about not doing it for some. And so
Yeah,
I just
and it's
don't
like
as a policy.
yeah, it's like favoritism and you're just like, I shouldn't
Yeah,
do
right.
that.
I don't want to ignore the guy who ordered the single putter cover and the guy who ordered the set of five, I wrote him a real, that seems disingenuous. That's the whole purpose of writing a note is everybody gets one, right?
Yeah, and like we go through stickers super fast for that reason. I try to give every guest stickers. The issue is I'm super bad about like following up. And then if I do follow up, I'm really bad about sending them because I forget how expensive stamps are,
Hmm.
which is super dumb that we even need stamps at this point. Like if it's shipping to the US, I don't know why we need stamps. Whatever. It's probably some kind of conspiracy theory. I have I have two stamps left. And that's it. I'm like, I'm just don't want to get more stamps.
I've always wanted to do the sticker drive, and offer a free sticker to all the customers out there who want one. But just the time and money and stamps just makes it not worth like just packing all those envelopes and handwriting addresses. Just it's killer.
Well, and I'm out of stickers. I donated the last of to a like a charity event. Uh, our guy Nelson with Tacos at the Turn was doing an event, and he's like, "Hey, what can you guys send for like swag bags in our big group chat?" I was like, "I have probably like combined probably like 100 stickers." He goes, "Perfect." So I shipped him all the stickers, and I'm like, "Damn it, I'm out of stickers."
Now I'm out of stickers.
And like stickers are expensive. I don't think people understand that. Like they're not cheap. And you're just like,
I have
now I gotta
got a
order
great
more.
overseas supplier, thankfully. Let's see if I don't have any over here by me at the moment, but I've got a great overseas supplier. So if you need a link for that, I got you there too.
That might be nice because I've been using Sticker Mule.
No, ugh, no. As much as I like to buy things in America, there are some things that are just too expensive when they're made here. I think we pay like $100 for like 10,000 stickers.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that link.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
So
because I
you've seen
guarantee
our stickers too. We got the nice foil ones too. We got like a solid black and white one and the foil ones. I wish I had
I
one over
don't
here. I don't want to walk away.
I don't think I have. I know I've seen the air freshener. I had one of those.
Oh, I've got one. Here's a foil one on the back of my iPad case. How about that?
Ooh,
Yeah, so I've got those in black and white and then those in foil, and then they have they're the real nice like split back kind. But listeners don't care about this. And now we're
do
talking
they
business.
like wash really well?
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they hold
okay.
up pretty well. I mean this is the back of an iPad case that goes everywhere with me and it's
Mhm.
not scratched up or anything.
Yeah, ours. I don't know where I put my work bag. Oh, here it is. Funny enough, my work bag's Mizuno. I got real close with my rep.
Telling you gotta get those golf clubs next.
They have a blue wedge. Um, ours are like a really thick, like vinyl.
Yeah, so these are definitely the vinyl style. Like, I think the foil ones are like the mylar, like the more
Sure.
metal style ones, and then the other ones are vinyl, not the crappy paper stickers that don't peel off of anything.
Hate paper ones.
Same. Paper, you might as well just throw them away. They're junk. Hate paper
Yeah,
stickers.
like ours was like a super nice UV vinyl, washes really well. We've
Yeah,
had.
I'm sure they're super high end, and I'll send you my suppliers info on those. But I've reordered those 5 or 6 times from them. They're super super good stuff.
That's nice because I'm out of stickers.
They ship pretty fast too, even from overseas. You can get them in like 2 weeks.
Were they like China?
Yeah,
Sick.
Alibaba
Like,
link.
oh really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Uh,
90% of the time you're talking to somebody and they say they have a supplier, it's somebody on Alibaba.
yeah.
Nobody has factory relationships at small business size.
No,
Maybe I'm
and
talking maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I don't
I
I
don't.
certainly don't have factory relationships. And I'm small to medium.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm out of stickers. Like all out.
I will definitely get you that info.
Yeah, I bet you Derek's holding out. Derek probably has like a ton of stickers.
Yeah, he's got a stash somewhere.
Probably. Probably. If he's even awake at this point, he's probably all cough syruped out. Uh, hey, great having you.
Yep, I appreciate it.
It's
It
almost
was
11
great being
o'clock
on.
my time.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely went a little longer than we expected, I think.
Not the worst thing ever, but we'll definitely have you back on. We'll make sure Derek's not coughing up a storm, I guess.
Not under the weather. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I am looking forward to it, and I appreciate you having me on, giving me a chance to share a little bit about what I do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was a blast.
Well, anytime you need me on again, I am more than happy to be on again.
Oh, we'll make that happen.
Sounds good. And I'll get in your DMs and we'll share some information about some stuff.
I can do that.
All right. Thanks again, man.
Yep, you're welcome.
Take care.
Yep, you as well. Enjoy the snow.